Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition here of the OSC Elite Rising Star number 18, day number 6. I'm Coach VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome to OSC Rising Star. This is an exclusive tournament. I say exclusive. This is a tournament designed for up-and-coming players that achieve too many accolades. If they achieved too high ranks in big premier events, they are ineligible for this event. This is for the up-and-coming talent in the StarCraft scene. Let us go. Before we get into it, a big shout out in the chat. Thank you so much, Pappy. Thank you so much to Yoko3601 for subscribing with Twitch Prime for 8 months. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it as always. And likewise, a big shout out to a new subscriber. Shout out to Roz Bubble as well. Thank you. Gracias. Thank you so much for subscribing. We do appreciate the support. Hope you enjoyed the content, the casting, and the StarCraft. Hope you do enjoy. As we are nearing the tail end of the tournament, OSC again has been running for 2 months, almost 3 months at this point. It's been a pretty long event. It's been a long event here, and we've been working through it slowly throughout the course over the past couple of months ourselves, alongside Steadfast. I know Steadfast has also been covering a couple of days here and there whenever we have been unavailable, and now we have reached the tail end of the tournament. Exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. Let us quickly head on over and catch up on said bracket. Bam, let's go. Let us go as we can very quickly catch on up. Okay, so from the top, we had a double elimination bracket, double elimination here, and we now have our top 2 players in the upper bracket. Quickly zooming out, as you can see, we have Shameless and GgMaChine. Shameless, he worked his way through Ledlix, through Art, through MindoVK, a bunch of PvPs. Shameless has made it to the upper portion of the bracket. Likewise, GgMaChine also worked his way through Shino, Rebellion, and Milky Cow. So we have a PvZ in the upper bracket finals. Meanwhile, we also have a bunch of lower bracket matches as well. We have Art versus Sebestus, Rebellion versus Moja, Jumy versus Mini Zerg, and a couple of other matches down here as well. So still plenty of content, still plenty of StarCraft to catch up on. Again, from my understanding, I believe we have this week of OSC and next week remaining to crown our champion. Coming into this, our favorite players were Shameless and GgMaChine, and they both have made it to the finals. In my mind, players like Jumy, players like Milky Cow could definitely threaten, and they are still in the tournament. They're here in the lower bracket, both Jumy and Milky Cow. So wishing the best when it comes to how far they can progress, and we'll see if they can stop either GgMaChine and Shameless from facing off in the grand finals. Let's go. Let us go. First things first, so we're going to be jumping into our initial match. Up first, we have a best of three between Rebellion and Moja. We're going to be focusing on the lower bracket matches first, and then we'll be jumping into the upper bracket match of GgMaChine and Shameless. We'll get there. We will get there. Here we go. As we have our first matchup, our first best of 3, it's going to be a PvT between Moja and Rebellion. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tourmaline. Oh, the bits. Oh no, sorry. Have a little bit further back. I'll catch up, Bobby. I'll catch up. But thank you so much. Thank you. But spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the pink Protoss player. The pink Protoss, we have the South Korean Protoss representing Among Us Is You Evil. It is Rebellion. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the German Terran player, the red Terran. It is Moja. Here we go. We are jumping into our first series here, and if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. That tip is to the Ducklings channel or to the pets. I mean, the donation goal that we currently have is to help when it comes to bunny vet bills. So that's kind of what that's been spent on. But yeah, if you wish to support the tournament scene, you can do so via Patreon. Otherwise, donations here are for more personal matters, like said bunny vet fund. So just as a heads up. Otherwise, though, we have our best of 3. We have our best of 3 here so far. I'm curious to see how these 2 players face off against each other. The interesting thing about Moja's a very active player, but mainly in the European scene. He, in more recent years, specifically the past like 12 months, maybe 24 months at most, Moja has been much more active in online tournaments. He used to be a ladder hero. Ooh, gas steal. But he used to be a ladder hero, very much so, where he only competed on the ladder, and only recently, I want to say the last two home story cups, also two home story cups ago, did start competing in tournaments. And he's honestly a really good player, and I wish we saw a little bit more of him. Great to see him here, but because of that, I don't think he has much experience competing against a player of the caliber of Rebellion, as I would say they're similar in skill, but Rebellion is in a different region. Different part of the world. We'll see how they compare. Moja is a hyper aggressive player. I expect all-ins. I expect non-stop all-ins in this series. Game 1, 2, Game 3 if we get there. I expect hyper aggression out of our Terran player, and we'll see what kind of aggression we see on Tourmaline. 2-base all-in, it's almost guaranteed. Meanwhile, Rebellion across the map, he's also very cheeky himself. He also does thrive in the mid-game, so we'll see how Rebellion will also approach this matchup and what kind of set we go into. Twilight Council, how many gateways, how much aggression. Meanwhile, a big shout to Este Sai content guy for the poor wee buddies. Thank you. $6.90 donation. Thank you so much for the tip, I should say. Thank you so much for the tip, Este Sai cons. Gracias. We appreciate it. We appreciate all the support as always. Thank you. Do appreciate it. As Rebellion does move out, we do have still our gas on the main base is soon going to be cleaned up, and the initial Stalker is going to be zoned away. Despite that, though, it does get one Marine, and we'll get the other. Yeah, 2 Marine kills. Nice big ups here from Rebellion. Cyclone does swap out, so the Stalker has to get the hell out of here. Does have to pull away. Ooh, Adept getting caught out instead. Adept is caught out. Was the Shade too late? It was. Yeah, Shade was too late. Adept does fall, and Moja has momentum. He has momentum, getting a second Cyclone behind this, rallying across. Back at home, Rebellion, he's in trouble. Battery's halfway done. We have 1 gateway, no warp gate yet. Minimal units, there's nothing. There's 1 Stalker. Oh, there's 1 Stalker to defend. Lock-on is broken. It breaks the lock-on. And with that, we are holding on. The battery is now done. Battery completes. We still have more rally across the map. A 3rd Cyclone on the way. Often you would cut at 2 and then go into your add-on swap. You'd go into your starport, into medevacs, into follow-up drop play. But no, we're still committing. We're still doubling down and just rallying everything across the map. We spoke earlier that Moja is hyper aggressive. We expect a lot of all-ins. This is a little bit different though. Here we're applying a lot of pressure early on. And there's only 2 Stalkers to defend. You have the lock-ons on the Stalkers. Battery is helping as it can, but no. Yeah, Stalker takes a lot of hits, a lot of damage. Battery's out of energy. It's now out of energy. Moja throwing down 2 more maxes before the starport. This does scream 2-base all-in. We can pull the boys with this. It'll hit a little bit later. Basically, we're going for an early stim timing. Early maxes, early stim, early combat shields. Heavy bio counter early on with a delayed medevac and delayed drop play. Moja does step in. Ooh. Catching out a sentry. Boys being pulled. This is going to be, I mean, this is still worth it for Moja. Okay, 1, 2, getting up to 5 probes. 5 probes go down. Energy is being spent. Rebellion, he should hold on. And can he get on top of the Cyclones? Oh! Barely can. He barely does not. The Cyclones, they pull away in time. So far, good control here by Moja. Once again, forces to pull the boys. Moja still killing 5 workers. Does pull away and does preserve all 3 Cyclones. Does pull out. Behind this, we have tank production, additional bio. We do have a delayed starport on the way. That will be for an add-on support for a reactor into medevacs. But for now, it's on Moja to survive the counterattack. How many gates? I believe 3? Yeah, 3 gates. So 3-gate blink into a 3rd base. Rebellion is expanding. He does poke out. There are no tanks in position. Oh! Ooh, doesn't quite get the Cyclone. Doesn't quite catch. Rotating into the main. Tank is in position. The bio army is not. And Rebellion tempted. Does get a Marauder. Marauder goes down. Can try to deny combat shields. Not even. Ooh. Bit miscontrol. 2 Stalkers get thrown away. Oh, no, the Prism. Calm down. Prism takes a lot of hits. And again, we're building up into our 2-base push. As we build up, a big shout to Neelis in the chat. God, my God. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for subscribing to Twitch Prime. Thank you, papi. Thank you. We appreciate the support. Siempre, papi. Siempre. Thank you. Oh. Again, I hope you've been enjoying the content, the casting, all the StarCrafts. Again, it's going to be a busy weekend, of course. We have RSL. RSL is over the weekend. 3 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 3 days of RSL to crown our champion. We'll be there. Will be there. As Moja, he's still getting ready for his eventual move out. Stim is now done. Combat shields +1. The upgrades have completed. We can push. Rebellion, he will commit. Sorry, I've been saying Moja. Here come the boys. Boys are being pulled. 2 base all in. It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. Back, I don't really have to defend. We have a safety immortal. Dark Shrine is on the way. I do like the Dark Shrine, especially against 2 base all-ins. It's quite rare to hold on to energy for scans, so DTs can clean this up. But is it too late because the Dark Shrine isn't ready yet? Yeah, it's not ready yet. Just about to finish. We need those war pins. Moja has arrived. Does siege up those tanks. We'll say the tanks are a little bit far back, but within range of the immortal. Immortal takes the volley. Baby the Immortal in. Our first ET is revealed. We have a turret on the way. He's getting his turret. Do we have a scan? Yeah, no scan. No scan. Yeah, Zelte go for the dive. They don't quite get on top of the tanks. The DT doing a lot of damage. And it's still going to be a close trade here. It looks like the Immortal is going to go down. There's the scan. DT goes down. And Moja, he breaks through. Yeah, he does break through. At least currently the scan does run out. But now there's a turret. The turret's finishing. Yeah, the turret is ready. Dark Templar are not going to be good enough. And the scariest thing, of course, is that the tanks. The tanks that did survive. Not a single tank went down. And the natural has been broken. Rebellion was getting a 4th. Oh, God. That's so greedy. It's getting a 4th base. Building up his economy. But Moja is here to just end the game. Forces way up the ramp. Into the main. Oof, Sentry gets focused down. No force field. Archons are coming from behind. They try to at least. But there's a bunker. There's bunker. There's turrets. SimCity. Archon gets focused down. And Moja has done it. He has broken his opponent. GG gets called. And Moja takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG will play the Moja, who will take a lead in the series. Again, we did really expect 2 ace all-ins and hyper aggression on Tourmaline. That was expected, especially with Moja's reputation as well. Rebellion did go technically for a safer build, but he was getting a 4th expansion. It does feel like, well, unfortunately, he wasn't able to engage ahead of time as well. Ideally, against these all-ins, especially with a stalker-based army, you want to be able to engage, pick away at the army, slow it down as it pushes across the map. We saw that Rebellion wasn't quite able to, partially also because of the failed aggression. Remember, he blinked into the main base, he bled out a couple of stalkers, he was forced back home. That did give the opening for Moja to move out. GG. GG, well played. But I also want to praise Moja as well for the early game aggression. Remember, he killed 5 probes. He killed 5 workers early on. He was trading very efficiently with his Cyclones. He forced out extra batteries. He delayed the 3rd base of Rebellion as well. Like, a lot of damage was dealt early on to kind of set up for this moment. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be loading into Winter Madness, loading into game number 2, a much larger map of the map pool. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the pink Protoss representing among SC2 people. Down in the series, we'll see if he bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. The pressure is on. It is Rebellion. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player, the German Terran. It is Moja. Here we go. Now, this is going to be a good opportunity here for Rebellion to recover in this series. Moja, he's known for aggression, he's known for all-ins, and smaller maps favor that kind of style. Tourmaline, 10,000 feet, Ruby Rock, those are 3 maps that come to mind where Moja is going to be favored. But now we're loading into a larger map. much larger map in the map pool. If Rebellion were to build up into the mid game, it would be easier to get into that mid game here to defend, to survive, and to shut all ins down because of the rush distance by ground and because of how defendable the terrain is as well. With the high ground here outside of the natural, with the choke point coming into the third base as well, your initial 3 and 4 base setup is pretty secure. The map will be helping you, more so than others. So we'll see how Moja adjusts on a map like Winter Madness. Likewise, Rebellion, he's not the most standard player himself either. He can also start to be assertive. That's now we are building up. Single gas opener out of Moja, but we're still going for the follow-up factory. Okay, interesting. No shot we're going for like a 1-1-1 one base all in. I mean, as the scat is denied. Okay, he's expanding. So we're going for a delayed CC after the factory. Did get Marine first. Cutting certain corners, not taking gases early on, now going for a later Reaper. Interesting. We'll see if Rebellion can keep up. Yeah, Rebellion scouting nearby, ensuring there is no proxy factory. Making sure he's safe. And I'm curious to see where this build takes us here for Rebellion, just because it is going to be a much later second gas, later tech. And it is going to be an earlier starport, okay. So faster 1-1-1. Rebellion back at home once again, going to his own Twilight Council. Last game he went 3-gate blink into a third. This time we could see Rebellion cut some corners. Sailing Reaper does back in, does respond. Oh, ooh, tries to. He's going to be denied. Nice defense here from Rebellion. Able to deflect. Moving out with Hallucination, we'll be able to confirm the initial build here of his opponent. It is going to be a Mind Drop follow-up. Going for the Mind Drop. Again, you can already see here that this is a much more tame build here from Moja. Going for harassment. Getting vision across the map. We're not immediately building up into like a stim all-in or anything like that like we saw previously. As Rebellion does get a safety robo. I believe only 2 gates? Yeah, 2-gate blink. 2-gate blink into a third, so slightly greedier here from Rebellion compared to last game. Oh, there's a third. Back at home, tank production has begun after the mine drop. Moja does hit the natural. Rebellion somewhat in position. Blink will not be done in time, but he should react in time. It pulls away. It pulls away. Mine shot's going off, catching out one probe. Just the one. So better defense here from Rebellion. Clean defense. Claims his third base. Prism is on the way. Now we can start to counterattack. And I'm most curious to buy the follow-up here. Again, tank production is well underway, and we're now getting into the rest of our axes. To have the early Raven. Add-ons hoping to stim. Moja can be somewhat active here to harass. And Rebellion's just building up. Yeah, we're just building up into the mid-game. Blink is on the way. We have the Bale on the way for Colossus production. We're settling in. As I mentioned before, like I do favor Rebellion in a longer mid-game. And so far, Moja hasn't really done much damage early on. Even last game, he had killed 5 probes by now. So Rebellion is settling in, getting ready for a backstab. Moja is ready for his counterattack. Rebellion can reinforce and counter in these bases, but I don't really think we need to. You can argue maybe the main base is a little bit exposed, but we have both tanks in position for the most part. Moja should be fine. Oh! Soul Crusade try to get behind the middle line. They get one SCV. Yeah, one SCV so far. Doesn't lose any Stalkers, so this is worth it here for Rebellion. So far it is worth it. Getting the one SCV. Moja does 9 mining time. And Moja does expand, 3rd CC. So no 2-base all in here. He's claiming a 3rd base, building up into the mid game as well. And again, we're just slowing things down here in game 2, having a much more tamer build. Tamer build, tamer game. From here, Moja, once he gets his 3rd base, he can start to be active. Otherwise, we could see him turtle up. But he should start to move out as he expands. I'm sure he's also hoping for an overreaction. My army does move out. Rebellion just picking away the Hellions. Doesn't quite get the Marauder. Moja, he will have to be careful here. He's pushing quite far across the map, but I don't see him pushing up the ramp. Yeah. Doesn't try to. Just breaks out, gets a bit of breathing room. Now he can claim his 3rd expansion. And Rebellion is forced back. So just a little bit of posturing. Technically, I don't think Rebellion saw the 3rd. No, he did. Okay, no, he saw the 3rd CC. He knows. He knows he's safe. We should be seeing a 4th. There we go. 4th is now on the way. And soon working towards either a 2nd Robo or Storm. And we have the answer, Storm. Temple Archives into Storm, into Archons. Colossi moving out. Moja doesn't really have too much dive potential, so Rebellion can poke in, pull away. Actually committing into the tank. Oh, this is a big overextension. Yeah, Rebellion does not need to be here. We don't have to push in. At the same time, does cause distraction. Prism into the main. Gets shut down. Takes down 1 tank here at the 3rd. But Rebellion is playing with fire. Has to pull away. Does race back home. Again, just let out Jumy Zealots. Lost his Prism. Pulls back home, getting into Storm. And we'll see how aggressive Moja plans on being here. I do think there was a window where he could have just chased this army. I mean, you can see here he's up 40 supply. So there was an opportunity just because he had killed the Prism, killed all the Zealots, but Moja did not dive on said opportunity. Rebellion does make it back. Storm is almost done. Sure, so Storms. Meanwhile, currently there is no Academy. There's no Ghost Academy. Moja, he has a massive army. We just got to avoid the storms. Oh boy. That's going to be a lot of storm. 5 High Templar moving in. First storm does land. He's zoning back the army. We got 4 storms left. Oh my god. The first storm does land. So there's the second. We have 2 left. Oof. Another storm on the tank. Tank is going to go down. And so far decent trades here from Rebellion, but I believe he's now out of storms. Yeah, he's out of storms, trying to push in. Marines are left idle. Marauders being focused down. Cells are coming to reinforce, and we're getting on top of the Bio Army. Barely getting on top, and tank goes down. But Moja holds. Moja, he does hold on. Again, a bit of a messy fight. Moja, he did reset the Colossus count, true. Caught all the Colossus, caught most of the High Templar. was still a messy fight, and the storms were brutal. The storms back. Oh, so you have the storm drop, not bad. Won't get too many kills. Was that 2-3 SCVs going down? Roger does react in time. I say 3, sorry, it looks like up to 5 SCV kills. 5 workers. Really now taking more bases, gaining map control, securing a stronger economy. And can start to max. Now, Moja, he is at least going to be incorporating a couple of ghosts. The Viking count is still very low. Low Viking count. I'll say making too many medevacs. Hopefully we go back into Vikings from here. After this set of medevacs. So Rebellion's already moving in. He does have eyes on the main army. There is a way into the natural. Free tank. Does get it. Free tank goes down. Storm's coming in. Oh my god. Massive storms to the Marines. Yeah, Marines. No, they go back in. They go back into the storms. Marines, they just melt. And we're diving. And we're going for the dive. Tanks are on siege as well. Getting 1, getting 2 tanks. And Rebellion has done it. He has broken the defensive line here of Moja. Gets into the mineral line as well. And GG gets called. Rebellion fights back. Puts a point on the board. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Moja, I want to say initially there was definitely a moment where he could have caught the army and maybe snowballed out of control. Specifically, I'm referring to the moment when Rebellion pushed. When he pushed into the third base and he hit the prism, or the prism went into the natural at the same time. He lost his prism, he lost all his zealots, and again, he fell like 30, 40 supply, and he raced back home. Meanwhile, Moja, despite winning the fight, didn't chase. He didn't have the confidence to chase down the army, to chase down the Colossus. He could have definitely gone for the dive, but alas, opted not to, and that allowed Rebellion to recover, take more bases, max out, and almost perfect his army. Again, we saw some brutal storms, and Moja, he was unfortunately out of position to deal with that main push. He had 2 tanks on siege that had to rotate, and the first tank also was exposed as well. GG. GG all played. With that, we're going to be loading into Title Citadel, loading into the third and final game of the series. Bearing in mind, best of 3. Best of 3. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the pink Protoss player. We have the South Green Protoss. From among SSG people, it is Rebellion. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the German Terran player. We have the red Terran. It is Moja. Nope. Let us go. Welcome to Title Citadel. This is another one of these larger maps. I will say that this map is a little bit more quirky, a little bit more different, of course. One of the big factors is the gold expansion. So if we do end up in a longer, later game, the gold base can factor in. But more importantly, the bases are very spread out. So also if we get into a longer macro game, depending on who has map control, depending on who is the aggressor, they will have the added advantage of the distance by ground, right? Of these bases being so spread out. So if you're able to outposition your opponent, you can just straight up kill bases and end the game. Can end the game. I'm a little bit concerned here about Moja and what he's going to be able to accomplish here. We'll see how he does adjust coming into the ace match. Again, personally, I feel like the longer the game goes on, the better it's going to be for Rebellion. But we'll see. As we once again see a single gas opener. Last game it was single gas into a faster factory, which was kind of weird. It was it was a bit of a quirky build, but this time there we go. Economic start, racks expand. So let's go for the economic start. Rebellion back at home, settling in as well. Players are going to be building up. Again, we're expecting a bit of a safer build here by Rebellion, or even a greedier one. At least 2-gate blink. We saw 2-gate blink last game. We could see it again here. Safety bunker out of Moja. Securing himself. There's our Twilight Council. We have seen Rebellion mix up builds before and go into like Robo first and get into a heavier Colossus count. But here still playing standard, at least against Moja. Opening up Blink. There are builds where you can open up early charge. We have been seeing that a lot from Hero, for example, as of late. But that's usually if you expect your opponent to be aggressive. That's usually a little bit stronger on maps like Tourmaline, like Ruby Rock. I would say it would be ill-advised to go charge on Tide Dust Citadel. And there's Blink. Into Blink. Have our 1-on-1. Tech Lab is on the way. From here, we can go into early Cyclone. We can go for a faster add-on swap into safe pass Banshee play. Oh, okay, we're going for the swap. Let's go. And this is going to be Raven. So Raven open out of Moja. At the same time, Rebellion does go 2-gate blink into a third. This is the greediest build we've seen so far. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, last game we saw 2-gate blink but a Robo before expansion. This time there's no Robo, there's no third gateway, straight into the Nexus. So Rebellion's being very greedy, very economic. Then going for the Robo. We'll see what Moja can get done. Moja is moving out. Yeah, it does move out to harass. Likewise, Stim is finishing up. What's on the way, I should say. And we'll see if there's any kind of big signs of aggression from Moja, whether he goes into extra Raxes. If he throws down like a 4th and 5th Rax, that's a sign of a 2-base all-in. That's kind of what we're looking for here. If he throws down, I mean, we've yet to see an eBay, which is interesting. Yeah, no eBay, no +1. We'll keep an eye on it. Likewise, Rebellion going straight into charge, going for a gateway heavy style before any kind of splash damage. And Rebellion is outside the bases, containing his opponent. Moja does cut tank production here at 2. He's focusing on his bio. About to break out. And the eyes are on Moja. 7 soon to finish. Tries to bring away the Stalkers. Doesn't get one. I just want to see if he pulls the boys. Like, I just never mind, 3rd CC on location. Okay, I was curious because there was no 3rd, right? There was no 3rd CC. I was curious to see how hard it was going to commit. Does expand. Not all in. Ooh. As soon as that gets spotted. Rebellion, he will slow down the army. Gets 1 Marine. Gets 2. Takes down 2 Marines. Does force a stim. Moja has been slowed down. Back in, we have plenty of charge lots. Rebellion should be fine. Yeah, should be fine here. Assuming he's able to collapse in. Uh-oh. Tanks are going to siege. Yeah, tanks take siege up. Diving on the first tank. Does get focused down. There's 1 tank left. Oof. Rebellion does pull back. Yeah, pulls back, buying time. Waiting for extra warp ins. He's going for the dive once again. He commits. And he has plenty to deal with this. And catching out the Widowmine, the tanks as well. Rebellion holds. And Moja, he was so committed here. And remember, he was not all in, he was expanding, and behind this, I don't see him holding on to the third. As Moja, he will lose the entire army. Ay, ay, ay. Losing the Medivacs, losing the Ravens. Raven does not get away. Again, the army that Moja had could posture for sure, but to commit into the third, I mean, now there's nothing left to defend. There's just nothing here. Yeah, Rebellion, he's doing it. It's snowballing out of control. Gets across the map. And Rebellion, he should be able to break through here. He has no War Prism. He has no Prism. Dives on the Medivacs. Gets one Medivac. Takes down the Marauders one after the other as well. Oof. Diving on the final Medivac. But there was no War Prism. No War Prism. Delayed reinforcements. Not bad. Catching another Marauder. Greedy moves here from Rebellion. We gotta calm down. Activating our Stalkers. Throwing away more Zealots. Finally does back off, and behind this, claiming the gold. Gold base is on the way. A little bit greedy here from Rebellion, but again, he's expanding with his army. Now going for the Bay, now going for Colossus. I will say that Rebellion did overextend, and surprisingly, Rebellion did not get economic damage. He picked off a couple of SCVs. You can see here, no, never mind, 0 SCVs have gone down. He did not push into the mineral line. Those potential to get damage done, he opted not to. He kept going for the main army instead. So Magi is still in this. We're still in this. Rather than getting into double red reduction. Working towards mass Colossus. Building up into Colossi. We're bringing more units. I mean, earlier with Moja's attack failing, I thought that was going to be game then and there. But as we mentioned, Rebellion did not get into the mineral line. So we have a game. We have that game. We have that back and forth. Moja building up a heavy Marauder count. And Rebellion, he has to defend this fourth. And throwing down batteries, cannons. Looking to make a stand. Rebellion does expand on the right hand side, so he's being spread thin. Moja will scout. Does confirm. Confirms expansion. Moja's main army does respond. Rebellion is in position. Gets spotted. He is spotted. Moja has to play it safe. Still, he has so many Marauders. 32! Oh my god. It's a very beefy army. Likewise, we do have Disruptors on the way. Not Storm this time, it's double Robo. Building up those Novas. Ooh, Rebellion, he does commit in. Marauders, they tempt us around. Zealots, they trade well. They tank well, I should say. And the Colossi, they just shallow at the army. One Colossus does fall. There's 2 left. Wasting some shots. We're now focusing on the main push. Marauders ace them in. They're trying to get on top of the Colossus. Gets the Immortal. Yeah, gets the Immortal. Gets the Colossus as well. Massive pick of 1 Colossus goes down. There's 1 left. 1 Colossus remaining. Just not enough support. Not enough Zealots. Yeah, Warpins are so late, so delayed. There it goes off, does crazy army. Rebellion does hold. But again, he did miss Warpins. You can see the bank, right? You can see the bank here, almost 1,000 minerals in the bank. Rebellion, he was no macroing. Moja is holding his own. he has so many medevacs. Arguably too many, as he didn't go into any Viking production. Does get a disruptor. Disruptor goes down. Still does commit. Oh! Catching a free disruptor. Moja rotates over towards the gold. It still feels very committed here from Moja just because he opted not to go into any Vikings or into Liberators. He's still making more medevacs, by the way. Ay, ay, ay. Barely committing in, not quite able to. He only has 2 Colossi. And Moja, he's built a tank. He can tank it. Sims in, breaks the expansion. Nova attempts to go up, gets focused down. More Nova connects, but losing both disruptors. Yeah, Rebellion just losing far too much here. Everything's just snowballing out of control. The gold base is going to fall, and Moja can just keep on pushing. He can just keep going. Rover is exposed. And Rebellion, he cannot keep up. Not like this. Unfortunately, he just never retained his disruptors. Ideally, you want to build them up over time, but every time he had a Nova, I mean, he would lose his disruptor. Time and time again. Yo, we got defensive DTs. Oh no, they get spotted. They get spotted. Gold base went down. New 4th base under fire as well. Season Novas. And there he goes off. Catching out the Marines. But again, we have a massive concave. Collapsing on the Colossus. And he wants them. At least gets the disruptors. And 2 more disruptors go down. And Moja still maxed out. Still rallying. Nice kiting out the Moja. And he just keeps stemming in. And he's done it. Takes out the Stalkers as well. So Colossus as well. We're down to 1. Down to 0. 0 Colossus, and with that, the third base has been broken. GG gets called, and Moja, he will claim the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played. An impressive showing here by Moja. I'll be honest, I thought Moja was dead. I'm referring specifically when Moja pushed on 3 bases. Sorry, when he pushed on 2 bases, technically. When he hit the 3rd base, and when Moja lost everything. He lost all of his tanks, lost all of his bio, he lost all of his marauders as well. He plummeted in supply, and we did point it out how Rebellion counterattacked. But 1, he had no War Prism, so he couldn't really reinforce across the map, so he couldn't really keep applying that pressure. But 2, he focused on chasing the main army. He did not peel off into the 3rd base. He did not get economic damage, so even though he took a really strong fight, in the end Rebellion did overextend, and Moja's economy was equivalent, if not greater than that, of Rebellion. So with that, Moja was able to recover, build back up, and get into Mass Marauder. I was also concerned about the lack of Vikings and the heavy commitment into medevacs. It felt like for a lot of those medevacs as well, they just weren't able to really add too much to the main fights. But in the end, he was still able to overwhelm. He could just still bank up and build up a massive Marauder army. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Moja. Moja does advance on. My condolences to Rebellion. Rebellion is out of the tournament, and we have our next series. It is going to be a PVZ. Oh boy, we're going to be jumping into Jumy versus Mini Zerg UA. Here we go. But Moja does advance on. My condolences to Rebellion. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the orange Protoss player. We have the German Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Jumy. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Ukrainian Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Hokago T-Team. It is Mini Zerg UA. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats. Coming into this, Jumy is the favorite player. Mini Zerg, he's more of a younger up-and-coming player himself, and he's still rising through the ranks. He's still below players like GgMaChine or Young Yakov or Wayne, but Mini Zerg, he has been improving, and he has been looking very good over the past couple of months. It's been great to see his rise through the ranks, but he's still rising, if you will. Still rising. Still getting there. Meanwhile, Jumy, he's not the most orthodox of players. We have been seeing a lot of Jumy going for earlier timing attacks, Soul Train-esque all-ins as well. Jumy, he often adds his own kind of flair and his own spice to a lot of PvZs especially. Not the most standard of players. He can play standard, he can play macro. Doesn't always embrace that. Oh, true, hold on, I need to... Do you need to fix that? Yes, from here we have our gate expanded to Cybercore, standard opener out of Jumy, likewise Hatchcat's Pool out of Mini Zerg. We are settling into the Old Republic, one of the larger maps of the map. Well, I mean, I say larger map, it does have a very accessible 3rd and 4th base, so we do often see a lot of all-ins from Zerg players on this map. But I don't know if Mini Zerg is really the kind of player to commit into all-ins. Typically, whenever we cover him, he does play a little more standard macro games out of Mini Zerg, at least traditionally. We'll see if that trend continues. See if it does continue. From here, our players are building up. We should be seeing a 3rd base out of Mini Zerg. Likewise, we should be seeing our tech of choice out of Jumy. It is going to be a Stargate opener into Oracle into the mid game. So far, so good. Really, what the main thing we're going to be looking for here is the timing of the Twilight Council. When is it thrown down? Is it thrown down as the 3rd is finishing, as it's starting? Do we throw down a Forge alongside it as well? Jumy, he's willing to mix things up. Oh, and very nice block here. The drone goes down. The 3rd base is delayed. Massive delay here for Jumy. Oh, I should say massive delay from Jumy to Mini Zerg. As Mini Zerg, he's denied the 3rd. Shades into the shades into the middle line. Doesn't quite get any drones, but does pick off 2 more lings. 1 ling left, forcing out more Zerglings. This will delay drone production. Jumy trades well, and there is still no 3rd expansion. Oof. Still no 3rd base. Two it up, they can one-shot drones, they get in, they get 1. They get 1, they get 2, they shade further into the main. Getting a 4th drone, 4 drone kills and a delay on the 3rd. Massive damage already by Jumy. And Mini Zerg, he has a lot of catching up to do. I mentioned earlier that 3-base all-ins are relatively common here, and I feel like we have to. I feel like we got to cut workers at 3-base saturation. I don't know if it'd be wise to try to get into a macro game after such a deficit. Remember, Jumy's not done. No Spore. No Spore at the natural, no Spore in the main. There's only, there are 2 queens in position, but despite that, 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, 3 drone kills. And Jumy does get away. Again, so far, good damage. Mini Zerg, he knows he's behind, so he's double expanding to make up for it. Double expanding. And we're going for the early Roach one, hidden behind the main. Okay. Hidden for good reason. Again, I do believe the plan is to commit on 3 bases. And to go for a 3-base Roach all in. We'll just hunt it down. Jumy's being active. Moving over to the bases. Once again, shades into the natural mineral line. This time only gets 1 there. Okay. This time only 1 drone kill. This could have been a lot worse. As Oracle goes in, still no Spore, punishes Mini Zerg, getting up to 5. Oh god, 6! 6 drone kills, crazy damage here at the natural. Again, Mini Zerg, the Spore was so delayed, and he gets punished for it. In the end, it was not worth it to skip the Spores. Mini Zerg, he counterattacks, the Oracles, they race back home to defend. Third base should be fine, and Jumy, he's building up into what? Into early charge, not blink, into an early push, early timing with charge and Archons. Jumy's going for the kill. He's going for the kill, going for a very strong 3-base push. This is not standard, but this is because Jumy is ahead. Basically, Jumy, he smells blood in the water. He just wants to end the game. He just wants to end the game. This is not the setup here to get into a longer game state. He's just going to send it. Now, typically, I would say that Roach Ravager would be ideal against this. I do like the idea of going to Roach Ravager. Slow lots are revealed, so now he knows it's going to be charged. Mini Zerg is aware. And I might even favor Mini Zerg if this was a standard game, but the problem is Mini Zerg, he has lost 14 drones in the lead up to this. He can't really afford a Roach army. Not large enough. And I say that, Lings, they do hit the third. Okay. Lings at the third base. Charge is now done. Where's the warp in? As things are popping up. There we go. There's warping across the map. Sell some of them to get into the mineral line. Jumy does not have enough here. And across the map, that's going to be 9 probe kills. And Mini Zerg is holding. Mini Zerg is holding on. Again, messy execution here from Jumy. Very messy. Gets 3 drone kills, but again, lost 9 probes back at home. Does not kill the expansion. And a Mini Zerg is all in. Going for what? Numas has carapace. That is for Overlord speed, that is for Drop Lords. We're going for the German taxi. Oh no, the Prism! Oh! Ooh, the Prism goes down. The Archon was inside as well, and Jumy slipping up heavily here. Throwing away so much army. Again, his push was lackluster. Jumy, he was ahead. He had the tools to end the game. But now Jumy's in trouble. And remember, going to charge like this, charge lots, they're not ideal defensively. This is a very subpar army to defend, to survive. Cannons, they get denied. That's a kill, not a cancel. The Olin has arrived. And Mini Zerg, he might just have too much. Yeah, straight up. Might just have too much. Punishing Jumy. Denying the cannon. Catching up the Zealots. Ooh, Storm does land. Storm does land. Mini Zerg pulling away, just banking up his army. Now turning around. And again, Jumy just doesn't have much left. Trying to make a stand. Throwing down more cannons, more shield batteries. Stasis goes up. Rush Charger moving in. Nice storm. And I believe there's 1 storm left. Yeah, the final storm does connect with the Roach Ravager. But still not going to be enough. Cannons are dealt with. Archon's being focused out. He wants the Immortals. He gets 1. Another storm. Again, the storms are solid. The army is so deep in the red. But Mini Zerg, he has done it. Wow, he has done it. He has punished Jumy. Again, I don't blame Jumy for going for the all-in earlier, but again, he fumbled the ball. Fumbled that. And with that, Mini Zerg, he has broken the third. Catching at the probes. Catching at the mineral line. He's also going down, now pushing towards the natural. Nice force field. Slowing this down. And also this down, diving here into the mineral line as well. Yeah, nice spiles. And there's no surviving this. Like, there's no holding, no shot. We got 1 Archon and we got 1 Immortal. A handful of units. Cannot get away. GG gets called, and Mini Zerg will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Mizurk punishing Jumy. Jumy, he is the favorite player here, of course, 100%. And Jumy was ahead. Jumy, remember, he killed so many drones in the lead up to this, killing 14 drones. He was in a good position, but Jumy did fumble the all-in. He fumbled the push. We saw that because of the counterattack, of course. Jumy, he was bleeding out probes back at home. We had like lackluster defenses. His oracles that were called back, forth, and back again, they were just a non-factor when it came to the fight. And of course, it was lacking warp-ins, lacking reinforcements. He was unable to break across the map, unable to break the third. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're getting into game 2 and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Winter Madness. We have the German Protoss player. We have the orange Protoss representing Streamer Zone. Down in the series, can he bounce back and make a series out of this? It is Jumy. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Ukrainian Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Hokago T-Team. It is Mini Zerg UA. Let's go. Whew. Let us go. As we're now getting into game number 2 here again. Jumy, he was in a strong position, did fumble the ball. Mini Zerg fights back, and now Mini Zerg is one game away from causing an upset here. Can he pull it off? But now, Hashgas Pool, welcome to Winter Madness. This is a larger map of the map pool, known for longer and later games. I feel like after Jumy spread his wings and tried to pull off some shenanigans in game 1, we're going to calm down. He's probably going to just tighten things up and play standard here in game number 2. I know that Jumy is a very cheeky player and has a cheeky personality, but I don't know if he's really one to mix things up after having a deficit in the series. Don't know if he's that crazy. Oh, hello. As Mini Zerg does come in with the hash block. Mini Zerg does block. Ideally, Mini Zerg, he wants to see Jumy pull the boys, but Jumy no, there we go. Does pull the boys. That's going to be 6 probes off the mineral line. And so far, this is already worth it. So far, it is already worth it here. The Zealot has arrived. We'll be able to force a cancel. Back at home, it is going to be another hatchery here into the gas, into the pool. Mini Zerg, this is not an all-in, just macroing behind this. The goal here is just to force some lost mining time. There's a cancel into E-Red Chamber. And we should be seeing another cancel. Drone does survive, does pull away. Oh, he attempts another block. A little bit greedy. And there's the Nexus. There's that Nexus. Lings are on the way, Ling speed as well, does pull out of gas. From here we're actually making a lot of Lings. 12 Lings in production. Mini Zerg, are we going for an all-in? Okay, that I was not expecting. I was kind of expecting just a drone, build up and macro out of this. That is going to be 12 Lings. That's a big overreaction, I would say, if it's just to be defensive. Yeah, he's droning. Half of these Lings could have been drones. As we have our devs poking in, the Queens, they push forward. And with that, Jumy, he was able to already do some counter damage. Even here, denying mining, faking out Mini Zerg. And as the dust settles, Jumy actually has the greater economy, despite being delayed. Better economy for Jumy. Ling speed kicks in, catching at the adepts, and gets one. Oof. Yeah, just barely one. The other two shade back. Does shade back home. Now we can expand and build up from here. Oh, Lings they do get in. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there by Jumy. Lings they do slip in. They shouldn't get a probe kill. They just get a full scout. They disrupt some of the mining. They delay the army. Faster Evo Chamber out of Mini Zerg. Looks like +1 melee. Looks like Ling Hydra. Not roaches this time. Oh, my apologies. That is going to be a Hidden Roachhorn. Okay, Hidden Roachhorn, earlier Evo Chamber. It's possible we might just not make use of this Evo Chamber. Mini Zerg changing his mind. Okay, yep, there it is. +1 range, not melee. Going for a later upgrade after the Roachhorn, after the lair. Oracles, they do scout the Evo Chamber at least, but they don't get eyes on the Roachhorn. Do we go into charge again? Eyes are on Jumy. Safe in the dive. Mining, forcing a recall. Back home, Jumy going for an earlier Bay, actually. Okay. The plan here is early Colossus. Jumy even delaying his tech upgrade. Delaying either blink or charge. In favor of earlier Colossus. I mean, this should pay off. Mini Zerg is still droning. Getting up to 3 base saturation. Lings, they hold position 1. They hold position micro. No major damage. Blink is on the way. Safety mortar production. Second robo. And we'll see how hard Mini Zerg commits. Shall see. He's not committing, he's droning. Okay, Hydroden. The Hydroden tells us that he plans on getting up to 4 base saturation. So we're just having a much more tame game here, which makes sense on Winter Madness. I do favor Jumy. Jumy, he did, in a way, cut some corners to go into fast Colossus, and he's going to be left alone to do so. So Jumy will get away with this. Jumy gets away with it. Does get away. Getting it to 4 Colossus. That's going to be a lot of Colossi. That says 4. Getting it to 3. Getting up to 3. Mini Zerg, no drones. I assumed that he was going to be droning up to 4 bases. He's not. He's cutting workers at 3 base saturation. I do like this a lot more considering the early game. So we're just going for the all-in. Oh, stasis trap goes off in the natural. Again, no drones, no saturation. A massive 3 base all-in out of Mini Zerg. It's all or nothing. And he's going to be pushing into 3 Colossus. Oh boy. We'll see if he can pull this off. The longer this game goes on, the better it's going to be for Jumy. Things are dealt with. Colossus are revealed. Oh, nice aces. Catching on some roaches. And Jumy does pull away. And it pulls away to safety of batteries. Colossus, they survive. There's so many roaches going to be going down. And oh, this is not worth it. Yeah, this is not worth it. Remember, Mini Zerg is all in, and he bleeds out so many roaches. Stasis runs down, more roaches getting caught. Yeah, still getting caught out, and Jumy even having the confidence here to counterattack. He has momentum. Okay, pulls away. Fun fact, Jumy, he's getting up to 5 Colossus. That's crazy. Okay, there's a 5 Colossi. Usually this is inefficient. Usually I would say that it's inefficient and that this will do too much like overkill and overdamage. But I will say that because Mini Zerg has a more roach heavy composition, then you can justify having this many Colossus. But ideally, Jumy does spread out the Colossus and he does try to minimize splash damage or like just doing overdamage, overkill. Lurker Den is on the way. Hive is on the way as well. Mini Zerg is taking up. Trying to at least. Mini Zerg did just show up to 4 base saturation. Lings to the force to cancel. Ooh, barely not. Barely not. And we should be seeing Jumy push soon. He's just waiting for his War Prism. War Prism has arrived. Jumy moves out. He's got his 5 Colossus. And it's on Jumy to try to break a Mini Zerg before Lurker Tech. Before the Lunkers. As he moves out, Roaches move in. But I think this is fine. Even if these Roaches deny the expansion, this timing is brutal. Oh, Stalker's left alone. Losing 1, 2, almost 3. Oh, Bios connect as well. Yeah, Messi moves out of Jumy. Zell set defend back at home. Jumy, he can focus on the main push. Catching out tumors. I'll say peel off into the natural. Hydras, they do catch out the prison, not bad. We have a couple of lurkers, okay. Mini Zerg is going to his lurker tech, but he will lose the bases. Yeah, drones are going down here at the natural. The 4th base falls. Very nice force fields catching out all the drones. Oh no, he cannot get away. All the drones are called out. 30 drone kills. We have some abductions. Gets a Colossus. A crazy blink. Jesus. Yeah, Jumy, that was not worth it. He blinked into his death. Go one Viper. But Jumy's still in a better position. Jumy, he's on 4 bases. Mini Zerg, he's on 2. He's essentially on a 2-base economy. Mini Zerg is hurting. Jumy just has to back off and build back up. We're just gonna calm down, Bobby. Calm down. No, we don't need this, but sure. Flea Beacon's on the way, getting ready for Sky Toss. Yes, there are some lurkers, and they do have lurker range at least. But there's not that much support. Oh, gets a Colossus. There he goes up. Ooh, massive connection. Jesus. Roaches, they get bullied. Get bullied here. Jumy does threaten to dive. So again, trading with the main army. Jumy rotates. The Mini Zerg is still yet to re-expand. He's trying to. He's double expanding. 1 base will be denied. Tabs are amassing. They are building up. Just 1 Tempest. Oof. Storms has been back the Hydras. Zell say catch reinforcements on the left hand side, even getting to the mineral line. Catching out the Oracle. Mini Zerg does counterattack. It's a decent lurker count. 12 lurkers. The Lunker's back. So just trying to engage at a time. Once again, more Zella run-bys. Jumy's just been so adamant here, so persistent with these run-bys. It's worth it. Here's the natural. Mini Zerg out of position. Oh, where's the answer? Oh no! The move command! Jumy! Oh my god! He move commands in! He had detection as well. Like, he had observers. He could have A-moved. But he move commanded into the army. Ay, ay, ay. Is that game? That might just be game. Then and there. Jumy! God, I was caught off guard. I was like, what's happening? Jumy! He had detection with the army. He just moved in. He just walked into the lunkers, papi. The base is gonna go down. Jumy, he lost almost everything. Oh no. Like, Jumy could have won that fight actually. Like, because the lurkers were exposed, because there's no hydras here, right? There's no hydras. The timbers could have popped off. Ay. And with that, Jumy, he plummets in supply. Mini Zerg is moving out. Now, the one thing working for Jumy here is the lack of economy. I mentioned earlier, but Mini Zerg, he has no mining. He has barely any mining whatsoever. He needs bases. Oh no! Ooh, Mini Zerg clumps. Yeah, he clumps up and very nice feedbacks. Does take 2 massive novas to the face. This is messy. This is getting messy here. Very messy. Storm of the lurkers. Mini Zerg, he does take down the expansion. Oh my god. Yeah, probes as well. We are building on more Tempest though. Now up to 4 Tempest. That's our 4 Tempest. Mini Zerg, he... Oh, now scouts bottom left. Peels off a couple of lurkers. Pulls back the main army. Spire is on the way. And as Jumy pushes, ideally Mini Zerg, he wants to cause a distraction. And he will. Because they bar. In the mineral line, Jumy, he doesn't turn around. Ling run right here on the right hand side. They will hit the would-be 4th base. Under the lurkers. Yeah, lurkers getting pulled out. Oh, Mini Zerg, he has to evacuate. Lose 11 drones. Glass lurkers are also being cleaned up as well. Again, we're still getting very messy. Still getting messy. Jumy back up to mining. Mini Zerg somewhat as well. Timing the army. There he goes off, catching out 3 hydras. But can he catch at the Tempest? It's gonna be close. Yeah, it's gonna be close here. The Corruptors, they take so much damage there from the Archons. Yeah, Archons, they defend. And Tempest get away. Up to 5 Tempest. Ay. Has Mini Zerg, he bleeds out too many Corruptors, and the lack of economy is killing him. Like Jumy, he has 2 bases now up and running. He's got center left and center left bases. Does have them both. Jumy can now start to max out, and Mini Zerg is broke. He's broke, baby. It was close. And again, Jumy, he had some massive blunders that made this game closer than it needed to be. But in the end, Jumy, he has stabilized. He's re-expanded. If these bases were denied, then maybe. But they were not. They're not denied. It's 1, gets 2 Tempest. Archons are pushing in. How many lurkers do we have? 2. Only 2 lurkers. That's not going to be enough. Jumy pushing forward. Soon to be 4 lunkers. Crazy storm. Yeah, double storm here on the lurkers. Here gets one. Ooh, Tempest Circus. Okay. Catching out a free Tempest. But again, Jumy's about to max. Like, Jumy, he still has an overwhelming army. As he's just outscaling Mini Zerg. He's not scaling. Corruptor's looking for more damage. Oh no, they get caught out. Oh my god, yeah, massive catch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Corruptor 6. Almost 7. Oh my god. Speaking of, 4 lurkers go down as well. Massive connections. GG gets called, and Jumy ties up the series 1-1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Jumy does tie things up. Again, Mini Zerg, he was able to hold his own. We had a very, very messy game here. Both players stepping up in their own ways, but what's the most important is that Mini Zerg, he could not maintain his economy. Jumy could. Jumy, he was able to double expand and get his bases back up and running, and Mini Zerg could not stop him. Wasn't able to stop him, wasn't able to get his own bases up and running either. GG. We're going to the ace match. Whew. We're going all the way to game number 3. And we'll see how this story ends. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, bottom left-hand corner here of Tourmaline, we have the German Protoss player. We have the orange Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Jumy. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Ukrainian Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Hokago T-Team. It is Mini Zerg UA. Let's go. Let us go. So our players are building up from here. So we are calming down. And again, welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool. Shorter rush distance, aggression is favored. And we'll see how aggressive our players plan on being. Again, all-ins are typically expected here, and eyes are on Mini Zerg for like a German taxi. Show us what you got. From here, our players are just going to be building up. Once again, our eyes are on our further tech here. So Jumy should be going for just a Stargate opener into a third. Interesting placement when it comes to the pylon, I will say that at least. Interesting placement. But from here, can build up into a standard macro game. Eyes are on Mini Zerg when it comes to how he spends his gas. Do we go early Eva Chamber or early Roach Warren? As first, Mini Zerg should be expanding, claiming his third. There's the Stargate into Oracle. So far, so good. There's our third expansion. Mini Zerg, he pulls out of gas. Claims link speed. Droning up. And first things first, we'll see if Mini Zerg can keep up with the Adept harass. Bearing in mind, one Adept can 2-shot drones. So it's on Mini Zerg to keep up. Queen's being very cavalier. Jeez, wait, what? We are pushing very far from creep here. Queens are pushing far out. Ooh, forcing a safety shield battery here. Jumy, he flinches. Like, Mini Zerg is just droning, by the way. Yeah, Mini Zerg is droning. That's going to be a second gateway before expansion as well. Jumy, yeah, he does play very safe here. Terrified about Nolan. Nolan that isn't coming. Not yet. So nice fake out by Mini Zerg. She's even a second pylon. And then now should confirm. Jumy, he sees that the queens are back at home. They're back at home. We're joining. Safety spores. Ooh, and Jumy, he doubles down gases and a robo before the third. So this makes sense because Jumy, because his build is so delayed and because his third is so delayed, he's like, you know what? I can see that you just faked me out. So let's just turn this into a two-base all-in. We'll just turn it into a two-base all-in instead. There it is. Gateway Explosion, Twilight Council, Robo, Immortals, Charge. Jumy, he's forced into an all-in. Nice aces. Very nice. Catching out the queens. At F save us into the natural, getting 1, 2, 3 drones. Oof. 3 drones going down, going for another stasis. The stasis will connect. Ooh, catching out 3 more workers. See how Jumy brings this all together. Okay, Twilight Council just to the Temple Archives, going for an Archon push, going for an Archon based all in. Building up Archons, building up slow gateway units. Vanilla gateway units. Now, thankfully, Mini Zerg is playing it safe and he's going into roaches, but this might be too late. It's a very late roach one in comparison. And Prism is moving in. Here come the Archons. So just going for the Archon drop. I assume the Jumy was going to commit a little bit harder, but no, he's going for a very late third. Very late third base. But is finding damage. That's with the natural. No chance to use. Yeah, no chance to use. Gets 1, gets 2 queens. Oof. Can he get 3? He's overextending a little bit here. There we go. Does pick up, does pull away. He wants those drones. He's on A move. Oh, he's on A move a little bit inattentive. Jumy does miscontrol. And miscontrol out of Jumy. Now turns around. Back into the main. And both players are just building up. We're just building up from here. Mini Zerg is droning, saturating, focusing on Roach Ravager. Likewise, so is Jumy. Building up his economy, I mean. So by Jumy, getting a queen. Mini Zerg, he doesn't drone. He doesn't run up his 4th base. He was droning up earlier, but only up to 3 base saturation. So it's going to be a 3 base all in at the Mini Zerg. 0 workers here at the 4th base. Purely Ling Roach Ravager with +1. So now we see how hard Mini Zerg is committing. Meanwhile, when it comes to Jumy's defensive setup, he has one battery. He's got one shield battery. Storm is a non-factor, so there's no Storm. He's got a couple of High Templar here that should be morphing into Archon soon. And what is the Immortal count looking like so far? 4 Immortals! Ah, he should be fine. It's a lot of Immortals. Here comes the all-in. Yeah, we're still lacking some Archons. Storm just now begins. Immortals, they respond. And we'll see if Mini Zerg can pull this off. Can he get on top of the Immortals? Remember, there are 4 of them, but there's not that much buffer. Yeah, Roach Ravager does step in. I do like this out of Mini Zerg. He needs to get on top of those Immortals. Piles Susan away. Gets 1 Archon. Oh, almost 2. He turns back the army. He's trying to bait the Immortals out into the open. Hits the 3rd. Likewise, Immortals, they pop out. And Mini Zerg, he's doing it. He's getting on top of the Immortals. He wants them. Yeah, Star steps in, gets High Templar. Oh, doesn't quite get the Archon, but the Immortals are exposed. Gets 1, gets 2. Yeah, 2 massive pickoffs here. 2 Immortals go down, 3 Immortals go down. And with that Mini Zerg, he has done it. He has broken Jumy. Again, Jumy, he just wasn't ready. He only had 1 battery. Army was out of position. The Immortals doing what they can. Very nice storm. Oh, no, he sends in the storms. Crazy storm. Jumy's holding on. He's surviving. Yeah, Mini Zerg going to be forced further back. Mini Zerg, he's still not joining, by the way. He's still not joining. You can see saturation here, but he's just been transferring. Like, transferring workers, as you can see here, undersaturated in the main. Just transferring from the main. Hitting that 4th. As we at least have some Hydra reinforcements. Void Ray? Plus 1 air attack? Okay. Jumy just kind of spending his money with whatever he can. Whatever he can. But Mini Zerg should have this. He's maxed. Mini Zerg is maxing out. There are 3 storms at most. As Void Ray gets caught. There's the first storm. Does graze the army. We got 2 more in the chamber. Mini Zerg, we can do it. Commit in. There's the second storm. One of mass. I think the storm is zoning at least. It's buying some time. And there's another storm. And it looks like we actually have 1 more. So that was the 3rd storm. There's the 4th. Immortals, they trade well. But now we start to step in. We start to step in. We're diving into the Immortals, or at least trying to. Juggling is good and all, but it's not good enough. Yeah, Archons go down. Immortals go down. Down to 4 Immortals. Oof. Down to 3. And Mini Zerg, he has done it. No shot. He has done it again. Jumy, he was one of the favorites to make it far in this tournament. But no, he's going to be knocked out. He's going to be knocked down much earlier instead. GG gets called, and Mini Zerg UA will claim the series 2-1. GG. Oh. Wait, what? Okay. There we go. There we go. But GG, well played. Congratulations here to Mini Zerg for claiming the series, for causing an upset. Like, Jumy was favored 100%. Jumy, he is the more veteran player. He has more experience, of course, and he was expected to claim this series, but no, Mini Zerg, he punished Jumy multiple times with some hyper aggressive builds. Seeing it here on Tourmaline alongside the first game on the Old Republic as well. GG. GG, well played. Very impressive play here by Mini Zerg to claim the game, to claim the series. Meanwhile, my condolences to Jumy as he's out of the tournament. He's out earlier than we expected. And Mini Zerg, he will keep that Zerg run going. GG well played. It does keep things going in that lower bracket. Very impressive. Again, Mizurk, he's a very young player. I think he's like 19. He's like 19 years old. He's older than GgMaChine. I know that. He's a little bit older, but he's still a young player overall. He's a little bit newer to this level of play, of course. He just kind of hit GM last year, like getting into GM, getting into the higher the upper echelons of GM, I should emphasize, and has been slowly progressing and building up. And this is a big win. Big win for Mizurk. GG well played. With that, we are now getting ready here for our next matchup, getting ready for a game for the third series. Let's go. Here we go. Whitehorse no longer uses Colossus against Zerg. If you missed out on this series, then you might not have seen it, but Jumy was using Colossus this series. If you recall, we saw Colossus in game number 2. Did see it earlier on the map on Winter Madness. So yes, Colossus are seen. Colossus are seen. So that's just a statement that's kind of misrepresenting the meta. Not good against Roach-All-Ins. Yes, Immortals are stronger against Roach-All-Ins, so if you're curious why there were no Colossus in that last game, it's because taking up into Colossus will kill you faster. Immortals are stronger, specifically against Roach-All-Ins. If you recall, we had no defensive setup, as we had no recognition that it was an all-in coming his way. Jumy was caught with his pants down. Not just that though, remember, Jumy, he also was going for his own all-in, and then went for a late third, a late expansion. He had a late economy. Remember, Jumy, he went for a robo, and he went for a 4-gate setup on 2 bases before expanding. So it was a very messy game from both players, where Jumy, he was hyper committed on 2 bases, and then he chose to calm down and expand because he only went for the Archon drop, and that delayed his economy. That made sure that he had a smaller army, he had less reinforcements. Even though he had a high immortal count, there wasn't much to protect those immortals either. There we go. Here we go. With that, we are now getting ready for our next series. For now, we're going to be going on a short break. And when we come back, we'll have Sebestus versus Art in a PvP. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the second half of the broadcast. We just wrapped up with two of our initial best of 3 matches here in the lower brackets, and we have 2 more ahead of us before the upper bracket finals. Oh boy, here we go. We just wrapped up with Jumy versus Minizerg, and we had a crazy upset where Minizerg took down Jumy 2-1. Big win for Minizerg, especially considering he's an up-and-coming player. That's a massive and big achievement for Minizerg, and wishing the best moving forward in the tournament. For now, though, we do have our PvP between Sebestis and Art. Oh boy. And if you've been watching StarCraft over the past couple of weeks, you would know that Art has been a beast as of late. Who did Art defeat this week? He took down Solar. He 2-0'd Solar, and he took down MaxPax as well. Like, it's crazy. Like, Art has had some crazy wins, taking down Showtime, Solar, taking down Solar, Showtime, MaxPax. I want to say Classic as well, potentially Hero. Like, Art, he has had some insane results over the past 2 weeks. Again, specifically the past 2 weeks, it's been insane, and we'll see what that leads into coming into our next series. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the red Protoss player representing Quasar. It is Art. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the yellow Protoss from the land of Czechia representing Team Roddy. It is Sebestis. Here we go. Yeah. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a gamma time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into our initial PvP. Now, when it comes to Art, again, what I should also emphasize when it comes to some of the other big wins during the War TV Monday is that those were best of ones. True, those are best of ones, and that is where Art was able to pop off and able to shine. But if you're referring to his match against Solar and against MaxPax, those were not in the War TV Team League. That was instead during the Monday Night Weekly and during the Kung Fu Cup, where Art had some crazy wins and crazy results. I would still say that I would say that Art is favored in this series. I would still say that Art is not favored against necessarily the players that he beat previously, but he has been spiking up quite well, and it's becoming a little bit more of a regularity as of late from Art, which is crazy. Now, what I'm curious though is how these games were won, because I didn't get to cast them. I don't cast Monday Night Weeklies, for example. I don't cover the Wardy TV Team League, so I'm not too certain as to how these games did unfold, how they panned out, and how he brought down these otherwise best players in the world. So I'm ready. I'm excited. So far, it is going to be PvP. PvP is a little bit different, of course. It's a little more dynamic, a little more chaotic. So far, 2 gate openers by both Art and Sebestis. Let's go. Let us go. So from here, we are going to be expanding. So Sebestis is going for a bit of a greedier build. We might go for earlier tech from the side of Art. Eyes are on our red Protoss player. There's Nexus. And Art, he'll be able to expand as well. So far, so good. Will claim to expansion slightly later than his opponent, so we do have a slight variation between our 2 players. But for the most part, no proxy, no cheese, no all-in. No all-ins, no shenanigans. As we are building up into a more standard mid-game. Likewise, safety battery here by Sebestis, going for his hallucination scouts. Art, he can poke away at the army at least until the shield is finished. Oh my god, the battery's too late though. Yeah, the battery is late. He looks down the sentry, and the sentry will go down. And nice pickoff. He gets both? No shot. It's close. Does get both. Both sentries go down. Massive pickoffs here for Art. Not losing a single unit. Did lose a probe earlier here, but 2 sentries go down. These are big losses for Sebestis. Yeah, big losses. Does get the scout across the map. It is going to be much earlier Twilight Council, earlier Blink, and earlier Blink timing for Art. Does have that early timing. Sebestis back at home. He has to spend extra resources on extra warp ins. Going for his own delayed Blink. Art has momentum. have momentum. Sebestus being cheeky. Okay, now we did have a bit of a later Twilight Council, but we could see Sebestus go for something cheeky like a proxy Dark Shrine. Eyes are on Sebestus. He can pop off. He can try to catch Art with his pants down. And shots what you got. Pylon is done. Pylon is done. There it is, Proxy Dark Shrine, cheeky build here by Sebestus. No, but it's going to be a Robo on 2 bases. Yeah, save Robo timing here from Art, he will have detection. Now, even though Art will have the Observer, it's still possible that the Observer moves out across the map and the DTs go for a backstab, right? There's still potential for damage. This can still get damage done. Ooh, catching out a Stalker, nice pickoff here by Sebestus. Art behind this claiming a faster third. And checks for Sebestus. Ooh, as we keep warping in. Yeah, Sebestus does keep warping in. Gonna be reinforcing across the map. Dark Shrine is now halfway done. And Art should at least have an Observer with the main army. Should. Sebestus gets in. Gets 1, 2, getting up to 3 probes. Oh, barely 3. Yeah, 3 probes go down. Nice damage. Sebestus does have momentum. The Robo is now done, and where's the Observer? Ooh, he's going Immortal first. Going Immortal first, still 0 detection. Dark Shrine just now finishing. And this can become critical damage. Here we go. Dark Templar warps in. Swirling across the map. Does a hallucination notice. Back at home, the Robo, sorry, the Immortal is finishing. Yep, there we go. Observer's queued up. We do have the Observer queued up. But workers are going to go down. Okay. At the same time, Sebestus, he does distract. Distracting the main army. Dark Templar whirls into the main. How many probe kills? Ooh, does reveal itself. Yeah, it does reveal. Getting 1, getting 2. Getting up to 3. Nice damage. 3 probes. 4 probes even. Yeah, 4 probes go down. And recalls back home. Fails to recall. But not a bad start here by Sebestus. Look at the worker counts. Even though Art had a faster third base, Sebestus does have the greater economy. And in the longer game, Sebestus will outscale Art. True. He will outscale. Meanwhile, there's DT waiting to go in. Here on the left-hand side. Art is in a rough position. There was some earlier timings available to Art. There was, say, earlier Blink. Earlier Blink was available, and there were earlier Blink timings, but did miss all of them, as he's been stuck at home. Has been stuck at home. We have a massive gateway explosion for both players. Charge is on the way. Prism as well. This tells us that most likely Art is about to push. But I don't know if he's going to have enough. Yeah, Art, he's staying on a lower gas count. Lower gases, more zealots. Sebestus does engage. Does pick away the army. Ooh. As he moves out, DT moves in. Nice distraction. Nice harass. Sebestus popping off. And Art is all in. Art is completely all in at this point. He has to end the game. We have 2 Archons to defend. Sorry, 3 Archons. Wow, that's ideal. Sebestus, he's ready. And it's going to be Mass Zealots. We have a couple of Stalkers in the mix as well. Art, he can try to get into the mineral line. Has a better concave, but the Archons, they should make sure work of those Zealots. Yeah, Zealots, they just melt. And Sebestus, he will claim this fight. He's going to be able to overwhelm, breaks through the Zealots, gets on top of these Stalkers. And Sebestus, he will just break the army. The all-in just is not hitting fast enough. It's just too late. Prism goes down, denies the warp in. And Sebestus, he will start things off with a win. With a win here. Getting himself the Immortal, catching out the final Stalkers. GG gets called, and Sebestus takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Art had a better start, I will say, when it came to the early unit micro, but the best is he was able to recover. He was able to get his own proxy across the map, getting that proxy Dark Shrine, did a lot of damage. Not just that, but that also forced you all in out of Art. We saw that Sebestus was able to pick off a couple of key units early on with his mass stalker aggression, picking off some stalkers, keeping Art busy, and by the time the all-in got across the map, there was plenty to defend. I should also emphasize as well that the that the Dark Shrine also came into the defense, because that is why we had so many Archons warping in defensive DTs. So we had all those Dark Templar, we had all those Archons. GG. GG, well played with as Sebestus takes the lead. Yo, meanwhile, big shout out to Flipper Flatjack in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. Thank you, thank you. Do appreciate the support. Do appreciate it. As we are getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the yellow Protoss player, the yellow Protoss from the land of Czechia, representing Team Roddy, leading the series 1-0. It is Sebestus. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this, representing Quasar, the red Protoss. It is Art. We go, and again, we've seen Art pop off in recent times, taking down some of the top players in Europe and some of the top players in Korea, but here against the Sebestus, he is struggling. And again, as I was mentioning, I didn't get to see those games. I didn't get to see how Art did approach players like Solar, players like Showtime, players like Max Packs, players like Classic. I didn't get to see those games. What I will say is that if we saw some hyper aggression out of Art, we didn't see that here. Right? We didn't see that in game 1. We saw Art go for a more macro oriented build. Sebestus was able to take advantage of that. This time 2 gate open out of Art. Meanwhile, Sebestus going for a gate expand. Okay. Greedy build. A gate straight into Nexus. Hyper greed out of Sebestus, and Art, we have to scout. We need to scout. We need to confirm what's going on. Art needs to punish this. Sebestus is being as greedy as possible. We love you. Less than 3, papi. Less than 3. Gracias, papi. Gracias. As the probe does get across. Does pick in, and does get eyes on the Nexus. So Art, he knows, and we should be responding with an all-in. There it is. Goes down the pylon. Ooh, Sebestus, he will scout this immediately. Yeah, it does scout, does confirm. Sebestus knows. Go. Yes, here comes initial proxy robo, second pylon just to keep everything powered, but again, Sebestus, he's fully aware, already chronoing out his own stalkers, and he's here to slow this down. Focusing down the pylon. He should at least kill 1 pylon. Alright, he's moving in with the adepts. Second stalker has arrived, first pylon will go down. Oh, getting another pylon. Here comes the Immortal. Sebestus is getting ready. Oh, we'll lose a couple of probes. First battery is done. Behind this, responding with 2 more gates. Going for the 3-gate defense. Losing another worker. Losing another probe. More depths are reinforcing. From here we can go for the War Prism. And again, the longer this game goes on, the better it's going to be for Sebestus. Alright, he has to win the game. Threatening a shade. Okay, he has loses War Prism. He has micro potential, but now he's up against 2 batteries. Soon to be 3. It's a lot of batteries. Here goes Force Fields. He commits. Yeah, does commit in. Does try to catch up the first entry. And again, there's not much DPS here for Sebestos. The model gets turned away. Again, nice force fields. Limiting surface area. Zoning back art. Buying more time. Again, we have mass sentry here to defend. That's a lot of sentries. It's a lot of force fields. Shade is denied. Yeah, it denies the Shade. We're soon to have a second Immortal. Again, that is going to be a high Immortal count. Does Sebestos have enough? I'm not convinced. Yeah, I'm not convinced here the Immortals they commit in. But he tries to. Once again, turned away, losing a sentry. Uh-oh. Alright, does lose a sentry. Did lose all the depths as well. The Prism! No, the Prism goes down. Massive pickup. Takes out the War Prism. No more reinforcements, at least not on the front lines. Has to rebuild that Prism. Alright, it's delayed. He's delayed, Pappy. And he's pushing into 5 batteries. 5 shield batteries. Nice snipe on the sentry. Catching out the sentry. Catching out the Stalker as well. Immortal gets knocked down. Ooh, that's a massive pickup. The Immortal will fall. Down to 2 Immortals. Art going for the Bay, going for Proxy Disruptor. But this feels like a desperation move here by Art. Catching out another Stalker. Oh, clutch save. Clutch save with the War Prism. Jumping into the main. Adepts to keep the main army busy. Drop gets in. Nothing in the main base. Sebestos, he has to respond, and he will lose 4 probes. 4 probes going down. Now, Sebestos, he can't afford these losses. He still has a massive worker lead. 37 to 22. Art, of course, is still 1 base all in, but here comes the first Disruptor. Shades into the mineral line. Does Shade in. Ooh, the Prism takes a lot of hits. 1 more volley. Ooh, Prism goes down. No. Yeah, the Prism falls. Forced to recall. At least saves the Immortals. Could have been worse. Oh my god. No, that's catching a couple of sentries. The force fields locks down the entire army. It locks him down. Massive force fields. And with that arch, he will lose everything here. Yeah, he'll lose everything. He's forced to fight, forced to engage. Losing all the Stalkers, sentries, adepts as well. And with that, Sebestos just snowballing out of control, cleaning up the entire army. There's nothing left. We got 1 Stalker out of 0. Adepts, they try to shade past, but GG Sebestos, who will claim the series 2-0. Advancing on to the next round and knocking Art out of the tournament. GG. Sebestos achieving what Solar, what Showtime, what Max could not. Achieving what they could not. GG, well played, Sebestos. He will claim the series. A very impressive play here. Winding it back, Sebestos, he was hyper greedy here in game 2, going for a gate expand. He did trigger a 1 base all in out of Art, which is the correct thing to do, to be fair. But the control was lacking there. I say the control. There was some big moments where he lost his War Prism. He lost his Prism twice. The first time was brutal, but losing that War Prism does delay and does hinder your all-in so heavily. It slows you down as you start lacking that kind of micro potential, the reinforcements, the momentum, the pressure on your opponent. So those were big moments here for Sebestos. Not just that, but also scouting, right? Scouting and confirming the proxy, confirming the all-in also was done very quickly, as he did find the proxy early on. GG. GG, all played. Also, by losing those prisms early on, it also means that we it also means that we didn't quite see like a rotation into the main base. We didn't see any kind of threat into the main until much later. That also did kind of hinder any kind of aggressive options that Art had. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're going to be following Sebestis into the next round. Un momento. I'm going to be following him into the next round, into the next series. It is going to be Sebestis versus who? Versus Milky Cow. Un momento. And there we go. So we're getting into our next series, we're getting into our next matchup. It's going to be another best of 3 here in the lower brackets, a PvT. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. There we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner here of the Old Republic, we have the yellow Protoss player from the land of Czechia representing Team Roddy. It is Sebestis. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player, the red Terran himself representing 3D Clan. It is Milky Cow. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim this series. Will it go the way of Sebestis or Milky Cow? Let's go. Let's go. Let's jump on in. And coming into this, I do typically favor our Terran player here, Milky Cow. He's one of the stronger Terran players in the European region. Sebestis, he's more of a younger up-and-comer, but hasn't been too active as of late. So I always have a really hard time kind of placing the state of play of a player like Sebestis, just because he doesn't necessarily play in all the online tournaments. He does compete a little bit more sparingly. So show us what you got. Let's go. Let's go. As our players are building up, we do have our own gate expanded to Cybercore out of Sebestis. Standard open out of our Protoss player. Likewise, Rax expand out of Milky Cow, going for a single gas start as well. So far, so good. So far, so good. We are settling in. From here, Milky Cow is often a very aggressive player. He's not really one to embrace a mid to late game. That's not really what he's built for. We expect aggression. We might even see mech. True. We have been seeing a bit of mech sprinkled in from players like Milky Cow, like Clem, like Cure, like some of the top Terran players, the Korean Terrans. So we'll see what Milky Cow embraces. Now we settle in. Likewise, we do expect to see standard play out of Sebestis, like Twilight Council into Blink, into 3-gate Blink Stalker. I know that Sebestis, he's on Team Roddy, and they are known for their Stargate Phoenix play, and that is a viable option, especially on a larger map in TVP, but I don't know how much Sebestis really embraces the memes of Team Roddy. Like, I don't know how often that is really the case, as it is Twilight Council, not Stargate. Settling in. From here, we do have extra gateways being thrown down, so it looks like 3-gate Blink. 3-gate Blink, if we throw down an extra gateway, we can build up into something more aggressive, but for the most part, it's safe play out of Sebestis. Gets a full scout. It does confirm the mine drop that is on the way, as he does see the Widow Mine itself. So he knows the mine drop is coming. Is aware. Blink has begun. Speaking of mine drop, sorry, we're just walking across the map. Okay. Widow Mine does move out, does take a lot of hits. No, the mine goes down. Yeah, Widow Mine is cleaned up. The Marines as well. Nice control here, pulling back to the battery. Very nice control. As Sebestis does hold. He holds, he defends. Third base is on the way. This is a third before Robo. A bit of a greedier build here from Sebestis. But does claim the third. Mine drop is coming. So far, this has been quite committed here from Milky Cow. He's lost a little units already. He's lost units. We have Bio as a follow-up here. Extra racks is being thrown down. They get confirmed by the hallucination. Sebestis, he's fully aware. And here comes the drop. Yeah, boosting into the mineral line. And ooh, so far gets one. Takes on one probe. Takes on the other. No major damage. One of the Water Mines will at least get away. But the pressure is on Milky Cow. So far, this opener, this initial early game has not been worth it. We do have +1 on the way here. We have the singular eBay into Stim and Combat Shields. This can turn into a 2-base all-in. Eyes are on Milky Cow. As all these upgrades are going to line up. Specifically, Stim, Combat Shields, and +1. They will all line up. Meanwhile, Sebestis being cheeky. It is very common in this kind of game state to go from Blink into Charge, into a Forge, into a higher gateway count. But here we can see Sebestis being greedy. He's going for a Robo, into a Temple Archives, into Storm. This is a little bit greedier. At the same time, Blink says, no, use the Medevac. Yeah, Medevac goes down. Picks up a couple of SCVs. Nothing major, but nice pickups here, considering that Sebestis has map control. The bunker is empty. We can rotate. Sebestis could rotate. Not anymore. Milky Cow's in position. Gets 2 Marines. 3. 3 Marines. Picks up a couple of SCVs as well. At the same time, Raven has into the main. Gets 1. Gets 2. Ooh, gets 3. Okay. 3 probes. Nice counter damage, late reaction by Sebestis. Meanwhile, the Raven also scouts the early storm. Milky Cow knows. And Milky Cow, he cannot hit before storm. Yeah, he will not hit pre-storm. Gets 1 more Marine, takes down the bunker. And Milky Cow is just being bullied here. Just stuck on his 2 bases, and he does claim a 3rd CC. And Milky Cow is expanding in a rough position. Now, all the Sebestis needs to do is secure his 3-base economy, get a 4th expansion up and running, build up, macro up, and strike his opponents when he tries to expand. So I would suggest Sebestis to just wait for Milky Cow to claim a 3rd. Wait for him to float over his CC to try to expand, get a 3rd base. When that happens, Milky Cow, he'll be forced to split up his army. He'll be forced to spread his army between his bases. He'll be more spread thin, he'll be more accessible, and then bam, you can strike the 3rd. With Storm. But before that happens, we're actually going for a Storm drop. Okay. I don't think Sebestis has enough to break the main army, but Storm has a lot of potential, and never mind, he can surround. Yeah, he can surround. He has plenty of Zealots, plenty of charges. Flanking Storm, oh my god, massive storms! The Marines, they just melt, every Marine goes down, insane storms! And with that, Sebestis, he will just crush the army. Ay, ay, ay. Initially, I didn't think that Sebestis had enough, but once I saw those reinforcing Zealots, yeah, we knew he did. We knew he did. More storms are coming in. SCV's gonna be going down. Storm zones. Going for the CC. There we go. Zealots, they peel off into the mineral line. Catching out workers. And this is critical damage. Critical damage. Sebestis, he saw the opening, he saw the opportunity. Oof. Storm covering the entrance. Oh my god, even more damage. Calm down, Bobby. Oh, catching up, what, 3 Marauders? They stumble into the storm. And with that, we can just reinforce. We can just keep pushing, keep reinforcing. A little bit messy towards the end here for Sebestis. Losing his Archons, losing his Stalkers. But he's not stopping, and he doesn't need to. Oh my god. Yeah, GG gets called, and Sebestis, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG will play it. He will take a lead in the series. Again, Milky Cow, he had a really rough early game. Really rough early game. He was stuck at home, he was contained, and he decided to move out. He was expanding, getting a 3rd base. He decided to push out. As he pushed out, Sebestis, he was able to get a full surround. He was just so far ahead. He got away with his Storm. He got away with his 3rd base. He was able to build up his economy and just snowball out of control from there. GG. I would have thought that he would have had to have waited until Milky Cow expanded, but Milky Cow came to him. Milky Cow exposed himself. And with that, Sebesta takes the lead. And now we're loading the game number 2. God damn it. Hold on, I gotta fix this up. There we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we do have the yellow Protoss player from the land of Czechia, representing Team Roddy. It is Sebestis. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran himself representing 3D Clan. It is Milky Cow. There we go. Let us go. So here we are going to be settling in. And we'll see how Milky Cow will adjust here. Again, he was overly aggressive last game. He lost 3 Widow Mines at the start of the game alongside his bio army as well. We do see this time double gas. Double gas open out of Milky Cow, going for a faster factory, going for a delayed CC. If there were anyone to go for a 1 base all in, Milky Cow is on the list, is on that short list, right? I'm thinking of Milky Cow, Gumiho, Maru as well. Ryung. There are a set amount of players that are willing to be hyper cheesy, hyper aggressive, so that is in the back of my mind. This doesn't have to be aggressive. This can just be a factory into CC, right? A factory into a delayed command center into just a tech heavy start, or this could turn into a factory into second factory or factory into starports. We'll see. Eyes are on Milky Cow. On the cow. As he does fully wall up. No quite catching the probe. Not quite. Here just probing, saturating, building up. Milky Cow, he will expand. As we're expecting the CC. There it is. On the low ground. So no crazy 1 base all in, but it does go for the faster factory and does open up Reactor Reaper Hellion. Okay, very aggressive start. The goal here is economic damage. The goal here is to try to break into one of the bases, whether it's the main base, whether it's the natural, rush into the mineral line, and wreak havoc. We'll see if he can. Meanwhile, checking Sebestis' vision, he did scout the faster factory, so he knows. He knows that this is a possibility. But so far, the natural's open. Este, top into the chat. Not safe for Terran. No, baby, no. For game 1, look away, baby, look away. Not like this. Hellion breaks in. Pulls away. We have more Reapers, more Hellions reinforcing. I believe only 2 Hellions here. Only 2 Hellions from here switching into Mine Drop. Hallucination doesn't quite confirm. Does spot the Marines at least. Does recognize that there are no additional Reapers. Hellion Reaper does not get in. Did attempt a KDA charge. We do have 3-gate blink out of Sebestis. Same build 2 games in a row. So far, relatively safe. And from here, we're looking for either an expansion or a robo. Should be the expand though. Otherwise, there would have been a robot by now. As he does bypass the main army. There's a sentry, there's a force field. 3rd base is on the way. And so far, Sebestis does hold. So far, so good. Does hold, does defend. Oh, I assume it's going to be a mine drop, and in a sense it is, but only a single Widow Mine. Moving out with the Marines, he wants to apply more pressure. Can he try and deny the 3rd? He's going for it. This is ambitious. Here we go, dropping into the main. 2 Hellions taking 2 shots. Taking 2-shot workers, the base taking a lot of damage. Widow Mine gets baited, Hellions they bust into the main, boys are being pulled, that's a lot of damage. 5, 6 probes. Oh my god. Yeah, one more Hellion shot, 7 probes going down. Here's a lot of damage, getting up to 9. 10? 11? Okay, Jesus. 10 probe kills, critical damage, a very strong start here from Milky Cow. What did he lose? He lost 2 Reapers, 2 Hellions, a Mine, 7 Marines. It was a big trade. That was a lot of Marines going down. So that was a back and forth. No shot. The bunker isn't done. No bunker. Without a bunker, I had the naturals exposed. Killing SCVs, killing depots, tanks are trying to move in, but the tanks are likewise exposed as well. He dives on the tanks. He gets one. One tank goes down. Can he get the other? He can. Yeah, massive pickups. Stalkers, they push further in. They blink over the wall. SCVs are going down, and Milky Cow, he did some decent damage across the map, but the defenses back at home were lacking. Stim is going to be denied. Yeah, catching out the medevac. Stim goes down. More SCVs here at the natural. And this is too much. This is just too much here. GG gets called critical damage, and Sebestus, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Sebestus time and time again punishing Milky Cow here. We saw the Milky Cow, he did some okay damage across the map. I say okay, it was like a 1-to-1 trade, but back at home, no bunker, no defensive setup. He had tanks, that is true, he had some Marines, but he wasn't in position to protect said tanks, or the tanks weren't even in position to protect the base itself either. And with that, Sebestus, he just tore him apart. GG, well played. Impressive performance there by Sebestus as he does take down Milky Cow. And with that, he will advance on to face off against the winner of Lelix, the winner of Rebellion. Wait, was it Rebellion? Sorry, the winner of Moja and the winner of Mini-Zerg. Okay. So GG well played. With that, we're getting ready here for our final series of the broadcast. We're done with the lower bracket matches. Up next is going to be the upper bracket instead. We have Shameless versus GgMaChine. Oh boy, this is going to be a best of 5 matchup. These are the 2 best players in the tournament. They're facing off in the upper bracket, in the winners round, if you will say, or if I will say, the upper bracket, and the winner of the series will advance on to the grand finals. The loser will be knocked down to the lower bracket, so no one is going to be eliminated here. At least not between these two. Not between these two. And honestly, this can go either way. This can go either way here. I'm ready for a back and forth. I'm ready for a PvZ. Let's go. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the yellow Protoss player, the yellow Protoss player himself, representing Stouty Bulls. It is Shameless, the best Protoss player in the tournament. True. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the orange Zerg player, also representing Stouty Bulls, as they are teammates. It is GgMaChine. Let's go, Pappy. Let us go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets. Oh, sorry. I do have to set that up. Predictions that will soon be open. Soon be open in the chat. So we'll have to head on over here as we get ready here for our upper bracket finals. Okay, beautiful. There we go. Get your Gamba going here between GgMaChine and Shameless. Coming into this, I do lean towards Shameless. Shameless, I would say that he is a slight favorite, but GgMaChine has been improving quite heavily here over the past couple of months. We'll see if he can take it to his Protoss opponent. I would usually say that Shameless and Young Yakov are closer in skill. I would say that GgMaChine is one step below Young Yakov. So again, this is still going to be quite a challenge here for our orange Zerg player. We'll see if we can hold his own. We'll see if he can step up and stand in for Yakov. Bearing in mind the reason why Yakov is not here is because he graduated. from the OSC Rising Star events. Yakov, he was just too good. He won too many tournaments. He did graduate. Likewise, so did Percival. So Percival and young Yakov, they are since ineligible to compete in these events. Same with Nickeract. So Nickeract, Yakov, Percival. That's why they're not here. As GgMaChine does open up with his Link Speed, pulls out a gas, claiming his natural force like the unnatural natural, and we're just building up into the mid game. The juice gets thrown down. Get juiced up, happy. Also, my apologies, I will fix up the nameplate. There we go. What about Cyril? What about Cyril? But Milky Cow, he was competing earlier, that's why the nameplate did say otherwise. We just casted him against Sebestis. From here is going to be a Stargate opener. Stargate opener out of Shameless into Oracle into third base. Shameless, he's typically a very standard player. He's not really one that does deviate too much into Glaive Adepts or into Blink Stalker all-ins. That's typically not really the kind of player he is. We're expecting a longer back and forth here. We're expecting some long games. We're expecting some macro. Assuming the GgMaChine meets him there as well. The balls are clashing with each other. Yes, for those who don't know, they're both on Team Stowny Balls. Stowny Balls is basically like balls of steel. Like that's what it means. Balls of steel. Oh. As Adepts take him into the shade, Lings are in position, and Adepts are going to be shut down. So 2 Adepts with 2 drones, a better trade here for the Zerg player. How do you graduate from OSC Rising Stars? Oh right, so sorry, I should mention as well. I guess if you're maybe tuning in for the first time or a little bit later, this event is for up and coming players. So the top players in the world are not eligible. So players like Bjorn, Cyril, Clem, Maru, Hero, Classic, those players are not able to compete in this event. This is for up and coming players. This is for the up and coming players instead. So players that that achieve too high accolades, that have too high placements in major events, they are ineligible to compete. I think it's like top 16, like in like EWC or DreamHacks, EPT regionals, events of that nature. But there was a recent rule that was also added where I think if you win, is it 4 OSC events? Sorry, OSC Elite Rising Stars. But if you win too many of these events, or if you place too highly in the OSC midseason or championship, OSC championship, then likewise you're also ineligible as well. But here we go. Here we go. From here, we have a standard follow-up. We have the Forge, Twilight Council, +1 and Blink. Meanwhile, Eva Chamber into +1 melee leads into Ling Hydra. So standard build here by GgMaChine going into Ling Hydra. Likewise, Shameless going into +1 and Blink Stalker into a standard mid-game as well. This is as standard as standard can get. Ooh, but Lazy it in. Yeah, Lazy into the third. Nice damage here. 1, 2, 3 probes going to be going down. And a denial of the battery. Yeah, Shameless out of position. Races back home with the Oracles. The Adepts, they do go for the counterattack. And drones will go down. So we have a bit of a back and forth. Shameless, he may have lost 4 probes. At the same time, we'll kill 1 drone across the map. That's 5 probe kills. Yeah, 5 probe kills back at home. These Adepts, they were not worth it yet. Yeah, they were not worth it. But they somewhat make up for it here, getting 4 drone kills. Catching up 4 workers. So I'm just updating the Wikipedia page as we speak with some of our results. Lings, they poke in. And as it settles here, Shameless is ahead economically. Like, Shameless is up to full 3-base saturation. GgMaChine's 4th base has yet to be joined up. So GgMaChine is still building up back at home into his own Ling Hydra setup. It's been very chaotic so far. The Oracles, they... Oh, find a drone. We get 1 more worker. Denying mining. And being zoned away. they're going to be zoned back from here. Shameless, he's now turtling up, getting up to 3 bases, now taking up into Colossus. We have the second Robo on the way. We have the Bay as well into double Colossus production. This usually leads into a quadruple Colossus timing in the mid game of 4 bases. So as we kind of mentioned, we do expect this to be a longer series, not just because it's a best of 5, not just because it's the 2 best players in the tournament, but they're both kind of known for longer and later games. So the goal here for Shameless is just to turtle up, get into that mid game, get it to 4 bases. Meanwhile, the pressure's on GgMaChine to try to break him early on. As you can see here, GgMaChine, he's not fully droning. He's not fully droning up. He's cutting workers early, massing up Link Hydra, coming in for the surround. Oh, does get the Stalkers. Yeah, nice surround. Stalkers, they get locked down, getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Stalkers. Oh my god, catching at everything. And there's no escaping this. Yeah, there's no escaping this. The Lings, they can chase him down. Heavy losses here for Shameless. He should not have been here. Yeah, overly aggressive. And Shameless pulls away, losing another Stalker. And it's go time. He's all in. GgMaChine is all in. He's not droning, rallying everything across the map. The goal here is to end the game. Just end the game. Send it back. Keep going. Keep going. Catching out the cannon. Stasis Trap gets baited. Diving under the Oracles. Getting one. Getting both Oracles as well. No more Stasis Trap. The third base has been compromised. And before the Colossus can even pop out, the third base will break. Yeah, will break. Nexus itself can be focused down. Colossus is on the way. Does focus on the Nexus. And this is critical damage. Everything just very quickly stumbling out of control. GG gets called, and GgMaChine will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We do have a lead here for our Zerg player. Again, GgMaChine, he did go for a big 3.5 base all-in, cutting workers under 4 base saturation. But what I will say is that Shameless had the tools to defend. He had the tools to defend. It all very quickly snowballed out of control. When we saw it all quickly snowballed out of control, when we saw, sorry, I'm just setting up. When we saw Shameless catch out the Stalkers, right? Also, I should say when Shameless was caught out, when he was caught with his pants down, Lings, they came in from behind, they got a full surround, catching out all the Stalkers. That was what, like 10 plus Stalkers getting caught out. That was game. That was game then and there. So Shameless did overextend, did overcommit, wasn't prepared with his Oracles to support his army, and Shameless did lose it then and there. Everything just stumbled out of control. GG, well played. A very swift end here to game 1, and we'll see if Shameless can recover and tighten things up here coming into game 2. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the bottom hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the Orange Zerg player. We have the Orange Zerg representing Stony Bulls, leading the series 1-0. It is GgMaChine. Oh, we're changing colors. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Teal Protoss player, also representing Stony Bulls, as they are teammates. Down in the series, it is Shameless. Let's go. Let us go. Jakob can't mold in this event anymore. I mean, you say mold, he won. That's why. He was winning too much. He won everything. Aye. But yes. Percival as well. They both did graduate. And here we go. We're now getting into game number 2 here. We'll see if Shameless, he should be more attentive now with his army. Like, again, he had the tools to even pull out as well. He had his 2 Oracles, but they were too far behind. It was a late reaction out of Shameless to the surround. So the pants were down, Bappy. The pants were down. Jakob just now gets to sign up for and then forfeit all his matches in Pegasus Cup. Smurge, baby, smurge. Jakob, he just, you know what? He just, every week, he just believes, he's like, you know what? This week, I'm going to be a full degen and stay up until 6 a.m. in the morning and play in Pegasus Cup. And then when the time comes, he's like, you know what? Sleep is pretty good. He just goes to bed, pappy, goes to bed. Every week. Smurge, pappy. How dare he not be a degen? What an animal. What an animal. Sleep? Este Jakob. Get juiced up. Aye. Wasn't Percival in GSL years ago? Percival did make it into GSL once, right? I think he made it into the round 16 once. When you say years ago, technically true. It's been that long. I think it was like in 2022, right? Like 2022, 2023-ish era of StarCraft. He made it in once. We can look it up. But I believe he did make it into the round of 32 once in GSL. Here it is. So I thought it was in 2022. It was in 2021. 2021. Which technically was 5 years ago, which is crazy to think about. Like, in my brain, like the COVID era of StarCraft is still quite fresh. But technically it was 5 years ago. That's crazy, by the way. Crazy. Stop! Yeah, again, like you're correct, Stegosaurus, in saying that, like, first of all, oh, you know, he's like a younger up and comer. He is, but like in the grand, like compared to everyone else, you know, whereas he's been around competing for like what, 8 years or something, like. Oh no, Smooge, baby, Smooge. Not like this. Not like this. I was looking at Elite commit history and seeing all the files that said last commit 13 years ago today. Este Stegosaurus. I trust the Percival hair flow mostly. Oh, there you go. True, true. True, true. Behind this standard follow-up here by Shameless, same build, just going Stargate into the third base, into Forge, and Twilight Council into +1 and Blink. Meanwhile, GgMaChine also just droning and saturating as well. Nothing crazy going on. Oh, never mind, I spoke too soon. The Oracle pokes in, gets 2 drones, pulls away, but specifically, do you see what I see? I see an early Roach Warren. Now, this is a safe Roach Warren timing at 4:30. Last game, we skipped the Roach Warren, went for an early Evo Chamber into Ling, into +1 melee Ling Hydra. This time, very different follow-up. Different build, different follow-up. Roach Warren first into the lair. Now from here we can commit into Roaches, we can go into Roach Hydra, or we could even go into a Spire. Like, Spire play is viable from here. Eyes are on GgMaChine. Is it the Spire? Is it the Roaches? Is it the Roach Hydra? As 5 drones do go down, Shameless rotating over, looking for another way in. Percival Rise is insane though. Yeah, Percival, he did commit and did devote quite hard over the past, now it's been over 12 months, but like around like, what, 16 months? If you remember, he went to the military. Percival, he basically retired. Like, he basically retired for a time. I remember when he came back last year, I messaged him. I was like, oh hey, like, are you back to like full-time like playing and practicing? He's like, nah, I'm just streaming for fun. And then he just kept streaming. Like, then he just kept laddering, and then he just got good. He got good back. And sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes, you know, the pressure of trying to improve can hinder you. I know that was the case with Chance. If you remember Chance, Chance was the same. With Chance, he retired, he went to the military, and then he came back last year, and Chance was getting better results than when he was actually like practicing and like trying to improve. And Chance, he's like, I don't understand. Like, I only play part-time now, and I'm just taking down some big names. It's like, damn, that's the Chance. And it looks like it is not going to be Roach Spire into Mutas, it's going to be Roach Hydra Den into Hydra. Okay, I was curious what the tech choice was going to be. So Roach Hydra out of our Zerg player into +1 range. There's a higher chance that we just build up into Lurker tech from here as well. We'll see. Yep, there it is. Infestation Bit into Hive into Lurkers. So GgMaChine is embracing a longer and later game. Shameless back at home, taking up this time onto Colossus, this time into Storm. So both players are adjusting. We're embracing a much longer game this time. This time there's no crazy 3-base all-in. No all-in. We're taking up. So we have GgMaChine ready for his Roach counterattacks. I mean, ideally he wants to get rid of this, right? This is dead supply here in Roach's. Lurker Den has begun. Roach is ready for the third base, pushing into the natural. Roach, they do distract. They distract the army. And GgMaChine coming for the surround, actually. Oh my god. They're coming from behind, collapsing on the Stalkers. I assumed we were going for economic damage, and this is an okay trade. Gets 1, 2, 3, up to 5? 4. Yeah, there we go. 5 Stalker kills. Not bad. Bearing in mind that we want to get rid of this, replacing all these Roaches with Hydras. Getting up to 6? 9. Oh my god. Yeah, 9 Stalkers going down, almost up to 10. Picks off 7 probes. 6, 7, 8 probes going down, and not bad. And behind this, we're now transitioning into Ling Hydra Lurker. Double Lurker Den? I don't think that's intentional, but we'll see. Yeah, there we go. But Hive is on the way, Lurkers are on the way as well. GgMaChine just taking up into Lurker Tech. Meanwhile, Shameless, he is late to take up into Sky Toss. Second Stargate, Fleet Beacon, and Tempest on the horizon, but Lurkers will hit first. And there's a window in time where Shameless is vulnerable. He's now pushing onto Creep. He has Storm. GgMaChine, can he catch him out? Can he catch him out? Oh, that's the surround! Takes down the High Templar. No more Storms. Yeah, no more Storms. Now we can just rush in. And Shameless is going to lose everything. He's going to lose everything here. He has to get the hell out of here. Archon goes down. Zealous, they do distract. A nice distraction. Delaying the push. Hydras, they turn back around. But GgMaChine, he should commit. Oh no. He should just commit. Up to, so far, 4 Lurkers, soon to be 8. Prism into the main. Uh-oh. Now, if Shameless can buy some time to build up more High Templar and more Storm, then maybe he can survive here until Tempest. But GgMaChine is paying attention. Yeah, he's paying attention. Reinforcements will deflect. Rocks are being knocked down. No, he is distracted by the Prism, though. Oof. Yeah, he's distracted. Morphing in more Lurkers. I feel like there was a sense of urgency to push in, but no, GgMaChine is maxing out. He's backing off. Going for the Nidus. Ling's ready for a run-by. 2 Lurkers get called out. Nidus will finish. Lings, they do distract. Main army's pushing in. Anything in the Nidus? That's empty. Yeah, it was empty. It was just a distraction. No commitment. Ground army gets turned away. There are now 2 Tempests, but that's not good enough. Yeah, that's not good enough here. No detection. No overseer. Shameless is holding. Shameless is holding on. Again, that Prism did buy so much time. Once again, no detection here for GgMaChine. And Shameless, he's recovering. He does get away with the Sky Toss transition. He's holding. He's building up that Sky Toss. Yep, he does force out a Spire. GgMaChine, he has to take up. He fails to kill. There was a window, but he missed it. He missed the window to kill. Nidus does finish. Lurkers, they get behind the mineral line. Lings, they get in. Oh no! Hero! Not like this. Oh, he's fine. Yeah, there's a cannon in position. Move command Lings. They're going to be dealt with. And no damage here in the mineral line, but that's 14 probes from the Lurkers. Okay, good damage. Good damage out of our Zerg player. Lings, they collapse over the High Templar. They force out some Storms. Once again, another Cloak. Another Cloak. Shameless is holding. And GgMaChine, he's in trouble here. He's in trouble. He's stuck on Hydra Lurker. He's being outscaled by the Sky Toss, now getting up to 6 Tempest. Soon to be 7. Shameless, he's perfecting his army. What are we missing here? We're missing Archons. We could do with more High Templar, more Archons. Just to secure that Sky Toss. Nice into the main. Has our lurkers inside. Okay, nice finishes. Lurkers, they do bust in. No detection. It's just a game and no one has detection. The Zerg or the Protoss. There we go. There's Revelation, but that's still going to be 12 probe kills. Not a bad trade. Lurkers, they get away. Lurkers get away. Shameless moving in. GgMaChine, he might be able to surround this army. This time there's no mothership. Not with the main force. Shameless establishing another base. And GgMaChine, he cannot just let this get up and running. He can't just let it get up. Getting a Soldier Cavern. The problem here is that GgMaChine doesn't really have much of a bank either. Like, it's been a very messy transition here into the late game. Doesn't really have what he needs. But the pressure's on. He's gonna go for it. Does abduct one Tempest. He gets one. One Tempest goes down. Nice feedback. Shameless holds. And as you mentioned, GgMaChine just can't really do much about it. He needs to, but he can't. As we're getting more expansions. Nice runs are falling. I would say there's potential for rotations here towards the left-hand side of the map. But GgMaChine is just trying to perfect his army. More Corruptors, upgrades. Ultra Cavern is going to be available. That does bear better compared to compared to Lurkers. Oh, gets a Tempest. Gets 2. Not bad. 2 Tempests go down. Gets an Oracle as well. Very nice pickups. Meanwhile, there's that Lurker rotation towards the left-hand side. These bases are more exposed. Mothership is on its own. And you can see here GgMaChine is sharking for this Tempest. He wants them. He commits, gets 1, gets 2. Yeah, mission control here by Shameless. Does mass storm the Corruptors. We commit in, we get every single Tempest. Very nice catch. Archon's out of position. Tempest count is reset. Do we have a Greater Spire? I'm afraid to look. No Greater Spire. Oh boy. That's now a lot of dead supply here in Corruptors. And we have a ground army. We have a ground army here. Dead supply. The Corruptors are looking for damage. Here comes Shameless. What is there on the ground to defend? 0 Lurkers. 0 Lurkers. We have 7 Ultras on the way, but they're still in production. Ay, ay, ay. Again, no Greater Spire, no Brood Lords. Not like this, man. Not like this. Shameless, we can keep going. We can keep pushing. Corruptors into the main. Shameless taking his time. Now the Ultras have arrived. Pre-Ultra, I do think he could have killed another expansion, but he's playing very safe, very carefully. Catching out the Corruptors. Oof. And massive shots going off. As those rotate over. And Shameless is still GgMaChine is still struggling. Still struggling. Trying to keep up. Even here, though, there are only 2 Infestors, no Vipers, limited Spellcasters, and the Death Blow cannot be dealt with. The Death Blow of the army just rotating over, knocking down base after base. Again, if we had some Brood Lords, different story, but there is no Greater Spire. There won't be a Greater Spire, not this game. As Shameless cannot be stopped. Knocks down 2 expansions. I feel like he can just keep going, to be honest. We can just keep pushing. But plays it safe. Pulls away. She said, how did this happen? We spoke about it. When you commit as hard as you do into lurkers, it was almost an all-in from GgMaChine. He had to try to end the game or do critical damage with his lurker tech. But if you remember, it was we spoke about it at the time. That's why we were emphasizing it. The Prism. The War Prism did buy a lot of time. It bought a lot of time. GgMaChine, he actually went back to his main base. He pulled back his lurkers. If you remember, that delayed him knocking down these rocks as well. So he was heavily delayed by the Prism, by the Harass. And by the time he went across the map, it was too late. By that time, I think there were already 6 Tempest. 6 Tempest to defend. That was like the window. That was the window where he could make use of the lurkers. Once that failed, then Shameless has been in the driver's seat. Like, since then, basically. Since that moment, Shameless has been very secure. There was some nice moments like the Night Storm here where we killed, was it 14 probes? Like 14 probes went down. Like there were some nice moments getting some economic damage. But GgMaChine, he never built up a bank. Like he never had a bank for any kind of big transition. The one thing that I will say coming into the later game, of course, is because of the lack of Greater Spire, it meant that after resetting the Tempest count, the Corruptors were dead supply, as we were also emphasizing. There was potential to, if there was a Greater Spire, there was potential to pull back those Corruptors, morph in Broodlords, and have a stronger defense. But that's the one big thing I would say. Potential defense. And that could have saved these 2 bases, right? That could have saved center right and bottom right. Could have saved those expansions. GgMaChine is still sharking around. Once again, he still has a bunch of supply here in Corruptors, and he can maybe once again get the Tempest, but that doesn't really matter. Oof. Brutal Storm. Shameless rotating, knocking down more bases. Looking to. Now, we have built up a higher Infestor count. Earlier, there were only like 2 or 3 Infestors. Now we have 8. Now with a higher Infestor count, there is a world where we can lock down this army, and the Ultras could clean this up. Like they've got decent upgrades. They're about to have a 3-8. Or 3-3, I should say. With kindness plating. I don't know why, for a long time in my brain, like, I assumed that kindness plating gave more. In regards to the upgrade. But regardless. Oh, there's a recall. Recalling over. Yeah, it does counterattack. Does hit bottom right. Big rotation. Remember, he can always recall back home. Still has the base recall. Getting us over the Spire. No, he can deny +3. He can deny. Oh. Ultras, they try to dive. +3 looks like it will finish. 13 seconds. He wants it. Oh my god, doesn't get it. Whew. Yeah, +3 will finish. Backup Spire is on the way. Was 10 drone kills. Oh. Has a bold move here with the Ultra Run by. Bold move. And Mass Revelation here on the Infestors. Going for the Mass Neural, let's go! He does Mass Neural, Ultras are coming from behind as well. Corruptors are going for the dive. And GgMaChine, can he clean this up? He can! Keep going. Gets the Tempest. Takes down the Tempest, takes down the Mothership. Very nice fight here from GgMaChine. With the Mass Neural. Despite the revelation, Shameless was caught out. And we gotta keep going. We gotta keep going. Oh, we do have a Stalker reinforcement warp in. Uh-oh. Does warp in with Stalkers. We have 9 Ultras in production. There are still 5 Infestors left over. How much energy do we have? We do have enough energy for another Mass Neural. True. We have the energy for it. Waiting for the 9 Ultras. Oh, the economy is lackluster. That's 16 drone kills. GgMaChine, he's down to 41 drones. He does have a bit of a bank, so he can afford a remax, but yeah, not too much. Has to be careful. As he's not redroning. Oh no! The Oracles, they find another mineral line. Another mineral line's gonna go down. Ultras a counterattack. Here come those Infestors. Cannot move in. Does end the fungal. Locks down the Stalkers. Tries to neural some of the Archons. Doesn't get them. Yeah, not quite. Doesn't get them. The Immortals, they hold the line. That was a heavy loss here for GgMaChine. So he had 5 Infestors. Now he's down to 2. Yeah, 2 Infestors left. He's got 8 more on the way. And we spoke about this. GgMaChine, he has no economy. He has barely any mining. He's burning through his bank. No! Yeah, he's burning through. Ultras are going down. Infestors aren't ready. There's still 8 Infestors in production. Still 8 Infestors left over. They're coming. Mass Storm. Ultras are so low. Nice stasis. Yeah, stasis goes off, and with that, Shameless, he will break through. Shameless, he will overwhelm. Shuts down the entire army. And with that, there's barely any Zerg left. There's just Corruptor. Only Corruptors. GgMaChine lost all the Ultras. He lost the Infestors. Spire does go down. And Shameless, he has done it. He breaks on through. Yeah, Desperation Neurals. I almost said Desperation Assimilation. The Desperation. GG gets called, and Shameless, he ties up the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played, but a very intense back and forth, and again, I was really impressed to see GgMaChine take that final fight as well, the second last fight I should say, where he was able to neural most of the Archons and Immortals. That was a really strong moment. Unfortunately, he couldn't really keep pushing. As we mentioned, he had no longevity in the game, he had no economy, he went down to 49, was it like 48, 49-ish workers, like a 2 base economy. He didn't really have much of a bank either, just because Ultras are very expensive, so he had 1 remax, that's all he had, and he wasn't quite able to keep up from there. GG, well played. With that, Shameless does have the series, and we're getting into game number 3. Almost at the ace match, but it's the best of 5. Best of 5, let's go. Loading into game number 3. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Celestial Enclave, we have the orange Zerg player. We have the orange Zerg player himself being forced into a tied series. We'll see if he can bring it back for Team Stowny Balls. It is GgMaChine. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the teal Protoss player. We have his teammates also representing Stowny Balls. It is Shameless. Kind of feels like he doesn't believe in Broodlords. No, we've seen GgMaChine go Broodlord before. I think he just didn't have the tech for it. It's also a different playstyle as well, which is understandable. Like, we have seen players avoid Broodlord tech just because it leads into a slower army. Like, it does feel better to go into Ultras because Ultras has more dive potential. You can be more active and more aggressive, and you can try to cash out an army or try to outmaneuver the army. Broodlords is just a different, like, stylistic choice, and there are players that just don't really enjoy that and they avoid that kind of style, even if it's almost necessary. But here we go. Here we go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for an anonymous tip. $10. Sorry, 100. Oh my god, for $100. Thank you so much, Gab. Thank you so much for the tip, for the donation. We do appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Especially considering just again what's been happening at the start of the year. There've been a lot of vet visits, regarding our pet bunnies. So thank you so much. That does help. Thank you for the support. Thank you. As for now, we have our hatch gas pool, standard opener. Wait, GgMaChine does go for the pocket base? Ooh. Okay, does go for the pocket expansion. Usually you want to save this base for like a 4th or a 5th or a 6th. Getting this early on is an interesting choice here, as it does have less value. Wait, what? Where are we going? Let him cook, Pappy. Let him cook. Like, what's up? Okay, as the Overlord is going to be zoned away, it is going to be a Twilight Council opener out of Shameless. Bearing in mind, there's no Stalker. Like, the Overlord can just get a free Scouts, but it looks like we're going for a Drone Scout. Okay, we're just going for the Drone Scouts. Going further into the main, we'll confirm the Twilight Council is going to be early aggression. From here, this can lead into Glaives or Dark Templar. And it does confirm. Okay. Does confirm with the drone. Behind this now, going for the low ground 3rd base. The natural 3rd, if you will. At least GgMaChine is aware. True. And he's getting ready for the rescout to confirm whether or not there's a Dark Shrine, Forge, upgrade, Robo. There's that safety Roach Warren. Shameless in position to deny that scout. At least he's on patrol. He does pull out of gas. Pulling out of gas here does scream Glaives, but where's the upgrade? Where is the upgrade? There we go. Delayed Glaive Adepts here. We could have gone there a little bit sooner, so interesting. Glaives are delayed. A drone pokes in. The drone does confirm. Yeah, it does confirm the gateways. It does confirm the tech. Now, fun fact, because we didn't expand on the low ground, creep takes longer to spread, which means we are more vulnerable here to a shade. GgMaChine going for his own counter all in. Oh god. Okay. Knocking down those rocks. Rushing roaches across the map. Is going to be Ling Roach against Mass Adept. I think I do favor GgMaChine in this position here. We'll see. One way or another, the game is about to end. Either GgMaChine kills Shameless or he dies trying. Dust Cut works at 29. Army gets spotted. And he can punish these Lings. As the rocks, they do stay up. Lings, they rotate over towards the left-hand side. Yeah, Stalker's taking a lot of damage. There's no battery. Oh, no shield battery in position. Roach is knocking down those rocks. And Shameless does go for the defensive Dark Shrine. Remember, there's no lair, right? There's no lair, no detection. DTs will end the game. GgMaChine is on a timer. Because that battery is so delayed. Such a late battery. Lings, they open up the wall. Yeah, they open up. Stalker almost gets focused down. Nice save there from Shameless. Yeah, nice save so far. Files coming in. Oh, going for the Dark Shrine itself. Okay. Can he kill? Can he force a cancel? Yeah, Dark Shrine is being focused down, and with that GgMaChine, he's done it. He has broken the main, he's broken the natural as well. Massive pickup, there's the denial. That's a kill, not a cancel. No DTs, no Dark Templar. GG gets called, and GgMaChine, he'll take a 2-1 lead in the series. Whew, GG. GG, well played. A little bit surprised here that Shameless, he delayed his side defense so much. Like it was so delayed here in regards to his own shield batteries. Likewise, it was a bit of an awkward build getting into the Adepts as well, going to delayed Glaives. Was able to at least buy a little bit more time by denying the Ling aggression at the rocks at least, but at the same time he again took too long to build up his army, build up those shield batteries, and of course the Dark Shrine was exposed as well. Unfortunate. GG well played. We didn't get to see the DTs come into play, and with that, GgMaChine, he's now one game away from claiming the series. Uno mas, papi, as we load into Winter Madness. Oh boy. Again, high progression with players. I don't think I've seen such an aggressive response to Glaive Adepts before, but it was also like delayed Glaives as well. Like it was an awkward build. It was an awkward build. But here we go. We're getting into game number 4 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness. We have the orange Zerg player. We have the orange Zerg representing Stouty Bulls. It is GgMaChine. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself, representing Stouty Bulls, as well as their teammates. It is Shameless. Let's go. Let us go. As we're getting into game 4. And again, the pressure is on Shameless. We are loading into a larger map, longer rush distance by ground. Typically here on Winter Madness, we do have longer and later games. But we'll see if Shameless can get there. I do favor Shameless in the mid to late game. I mean, hey, that was the one game that he won. But we'll see if GgMaChine can end it early. Something we have yet to see and experience this series has been Mutaplay. On a larger map like this, that's more viable. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So far, Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener out of GgMaChine. We'll see how he takes up. As we should be seeing a Stargate from the Protoss. Should be. So now we're building up. Going to be building up. Soon getting into our tech of choice. From here we're joining, saturating. It's going to be up to GgMaChine to keep up against the Adept Harass, the initial Adepts, and then the Oracle thereafter. Likewise, we'll keep an eye on whether or not we go into a faster Evo Chamber or Roach Warren or Lair. As Link Speed is on the way, GgMaChine pulls out of gas. So far so good. Stargate out of Shameless. And let's go for the Stargate. Here we can set up for a third. Overlord moves into scouts. I mean, especially after the last game, clearly Shameless, he shows that he's willing to be hyper cheesy and hyper aggressive with Glaives. GgMaChine, he confirms Stargate. And he pulls away. Now from here, Shameless can still be aggressive. We're keeping an eye on the Twilight Council timing. If we see a Twilight Council early on here before the third base is done, then that's indicative of more aggression. As it's finishing, then we can see a standard Twilight Council and Forge timing. Oh, but this was a bit of a supply block. Yeah, a little bit messy. Early Evo Chamber out of GgMaChine. This is typically indicative of +1 melee. There's no need to rush into +1 range this early on. So it's looking like melee into Ling Hydra. It's quite rare to see Ling Muta here in PvZ. Usually if you go Mutas, it's off of Roaches, so you have some kind of robust ground army if you need it. Pure Ling Muta is rare. So chamber is done. Lings are trying to catch any transferring workers. There's that melee upgrade. Oh, it gets one. Oh. One probe goes down. GgMaChine is still draining. Oracle's a poke in. Queens are in position. Spore as well. Nice reaction. Doesn't kill the Oracles, but does win them away. It gets zoned away. Meanwhile, standard timing here with the Twilight Council and Forge. Looks like +1 and Blink. Yeah, +1 and Blink here from the Protoss. We are playing standard. Lair is on the way. Soon we should be seeing a 4th base out of our Zerg. 4 bases, more drones, more gases. And again, we're expecting the Hydrogen. Technically, there is a niche build where you can go into, instead of Hydrogen, you can just go straight Infestation Pit and go into a fast Hive and go Ling Hydra. Sorry, you can go Ling Ultra. But that's quite rare, and it often does mean you have to be more aggressive, as we do get a Stasis. Yes, Stasis is the natural. Nice moves out of Shameless. Does get 2 drone kills. Lair is finishing. And Lair is finishing up, and there it is. There is that Hydra then. So Ling Hydra. Now the next big thing we're looking for here is whether or not this is an all-in. This can still become a 3-base all-in pure Ling Hydra off of 66 drones. We're waiting to see if he drones up his next expansion and whether he techs up as well. So we still don't have confirmation that this is a macro game. Shameless securing his 3rd, getting ready for a 4th. Behind this, taking up into Storm. Not Colossus. It's going Storm. Oh, Stasis faded. Nice moves here by Shameless. Sorry, by GgMaChine, I meant to say. Does bait at the Stasis, and do you see what I see? No drones. Yeah, no drones at the 4th base. We have 10 Hydras on the way. It's looking like GgMaChine is going for a 3-base all-in. Yeah, 3-base all-in. Another Stalker. Stalker's getting called out. Blink is not done. Massive catch. That's going to be 3 Stalkers falling. Ay, ay, ay. And we're rallying. We're going to be rallying across the map. GgMaChine is here to end the game. Catching out another Stalker. Blood is in the water. And Shameless is not ready for this. He's lost too much. This 4th base has just been too greedy. Yeah, too greedy here. Shameless, he was just assuming that we were getting into a macro game. That's not the case. That's not the case. As GgMaChine is just forcing fights at the 4th. Where we cannot defend it, we cannot save it. It's not going to happen. Stalker's going to be going down. Storm is just not finishing up. Link's able to deny the Storm, so yeah, they catch out the High Templar, getting 1, 2, 3, 4 High Templar. Massive pickoffs. GG gets called, and GgMaChine will claim the series 3-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played, congratulations. GgMaChine, baby. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. Again, I was favoring Shameless coming into this series, into this best of 5, but no, GgMaChine, he does fight back. He does claim the series 3-1 to make it into those grand finals. Again, we did have Shameless pop off when it came to the when it came to the macro game, when it came to the longer macro game, that is where Shameless did thrive, and I was favoring Shameless in a more standard game state, but we saw a lot of aggression and a lot of all-ins. A lot of all-ins here in this series. We only had the one macro game. That was the one game that Shameless won. Outside of that, shorter games, more aggressive games, that is where GgMaChine did thrive instead. When it came to this game specifically, again, it did seem like Shameless was blindly assuming that we were building up into a macro game. His 4th base was quite greedy when it came to his timing. He was getting a robot behind us, getting into Storm, of course, spreading himself thin. He was building up his 4th base before his own blink was even done, so he was caught with his pants down. And again, GgMaChine, he had no intention of macroing up in towards the mid game. Didn't drone up his 4th base. No drones. And that is on Shameless for not checking, right? For not checking the 4th base, not checking saturation to confirm that Nolan was coming. If that was the case, we throw down shield batteries at the 3rd base, we give up on the 4th, we get a cancel, we get a refund, and we try to make the stand at that 4th base instead. Sorry, at the 3rd instead of the 4th. Instead, he was caught out, right? Caught out trying to protect an expansion that never came into play. He was caught with his pants down, baby. Pants were down. GG. GG, well played. So with that, congratulations. Congratulations to... Oh, sorry. Apologies. I should fix up the scoreline. There we go. Congratulations to GgMaChine. And with that, we can update the brackets. Let us head on over here. Exclamation mark. Be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. Let's go. As I do need to fix it up. Hold on. Just editing on my end. GgMaChine. Beautiful. For those who don't know, Wikipedia is edited by the people for the people. So if you're watching a tournament, especially at this time slot, a lot of the regular editors on Wikipedia, they are European based, so a lot of them are asleep at this time. That is why we get like delayed updates for like Pigstar Cups or OSC events and other events that are around this time slot. So if you wish, you can, you know, decide to edit yourselves and update some of these score lines yourself. But here we go. Bam. Okay. From the top here, we have the initial best of 5. We had GgMaChine and Shameless, as you can see, just under me. GgMaChine does take down Shameless 3-1, and GgMaChine, he's in the grand finals. Bam. He's in the grand finals. Is there a better way of showcasing this? Actually, hold on. What am I doing? There we go. What am I doing? So GgMaChine, he does claim the series 3-1. GgMaChine, he's now waiting in the grand finals, as you can see right next to me, waiting for his next opponent. And there's still a lot more matches to go. There's still a lot more to come here. As you can see, we have Moja versus Mini Zerg is going to be the next series that will lead into Ducklings, that will lead into Sebestos, that will lead into Shameless, and that will lead into GgMaChine. At this point, we already have our top finalists, but who will play against him yet to be determined. We still have some Protoss players, Terran and Zerg, remaining in the event. So we still have 5 matches left. 5 matches remaining here, and this will be covered most likely next week. Next week, most likely, we'll be able to crown our champion. So again, best of luck to all the remaining players. Jumy, he got knocked out of the tournament. Arch got knocked out. Milky Cow, of course, he also got knocked out of the tournament as well. So we're bidding adieu to some of these players. I still do favor Shameless to make it to the grand finals, to have a rematch versus GgMaChine, but there is potential for some upsets from Ducklings, Sebestos, Moja, Mini Zerg. They can upset. So best of luck. Best of luck, Pappy. Best of luck. And again, these matches will be played out next week. Next week. So most likely next week we can crown our champion. Most likely. Fala galera, Pappy. Fala galera. What happens if we decide to update the results with lies? Oh, then your account gets banned, Pappy. You do have to have a TL account, of course, to update. We'll ban you. Get out of here, Pappy. Get out of here. But otherwise, with that, we are going to be wrapping up. Going to be wrapping up here for the time being. And with that, we are going to be wrapping up for the morning broadcast. When it comes to the rest of our schedule, bam, as you can see here, we just wrapped up with our morning OSC cast for Friday morning. And we do have a couple more casts over the course of the weekend. We have RSL. Revival StarCraft League. 3 days straight of RSL action. We have RSL tonight, Friday evening, followed by Saturday and Sunday as well. 3 days of RSL. We will also be crowning our champion for this season's Revival StarCraft League. Who do we have this night? Tonight it's going to be Trigger versus Cure and Björn versus Rogue. 2 best of 5s. 2 best of 5s tonight. And it should be, I think it's going to be 2 series each day. Hold on. We can have a look together, actually. We have the technology. Okay. Un momento. Here we go. So this is going to be, there we go. This is going to be tonight's broadcast for RSL. So tonight is going to be the lower bracket matches. We have Trigger versus Cure in a best of 5, and then Björn versus Rogue also in a best of 5 as well. I believe Saturday should be Mara and Max. Yep, that's going to be on Saturday evening. That's going to be a best of 7, and it should be the lower bracket match as well. No? Wait, what? Oh, that's kind of weird. Yeah, that's what Kuro spoke about. Okay, so there's a lot to criticize when it comes to RSL, and their schedule is kind of weird. Yeah, I'm not too fond of their schedule. So basically what's going to be happening tonight is going to be Trigger and Cure and Beyond and Rogue. Tomorrow is only Mario versus Max Pack. So tomorrow's cast is going to be a single series. It's going to be 1 best of 7, and then Sunday is going to be 3. It's going to be lower bracket finals, sorry, lower bracket semis, lower bracket finals, and then the grand finals. So 3 series on Sunday and only 1 series on Saturday. Personally, I would have had 2, 2, and 2, right? You have Trigger versus Cure, Beyond versus Rogue tonight, and then tomorrow would be Mario Max Packs, and then the winner of these 2 series. And then Sunday would be 2 matches themselves. So it's kind of weird that they did 2, 1, 3. Is it a 2, 2, 2? Like when it comes to how many series per day, it's kind of weird. But yeah, SMH RSL, SMH. Regardless, that is going to be over this weekend, of course. 3 days of RSL action. We got you, we got you. And we also have Kung Fu Cup. Kung Fu Cup week number 3 is going to be tomorrow morning. So we saw plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft throughout the next couple of days. Plenty of StarCraft. Oh my god, sorry. I did hear the notification. Sorry, I was distracted by RSL. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, ZZ1000ZZ as well for the $208.73 tip, the donation. A very specific amount, by the way. But thank you so much, baby. Thank you so much. God. They may not be plushies, but bunnies are close second. The bunnies are very cute. They're very cute. I have been giving some updates on our Discord server. We do have an animals channel, and we have been posting some images, some photos, and they're both doing quite well. Both doing well. Of course, there's been a bunch of medical issues at the beginning of the year, and that has been very stressful. Of course, that's why we didn't really get to cast much in January. But they're doing well. Doing well. They're both very cute. They're beautiful, beautiful. The bunny love. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. 1,000 ZZs. Thank you so much. Mostly a lurker, but I really do love the content. So this is my way of saying thank you. Thank you, puppy. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. We do what we can. We do what we can. It's been an intense month of StarCraft. I'm looking forward to the end of April. End of April, we should be having some. I say this like almost every month. I'm like, oh, the end of the month should be okay. Should be like having a leaner schedule. It should be at the end of this month. Like we have a lot of catching up to do with Pegasus Cups and with Kung Fu Cups and with Wardy TV Mondays. But towards the end of April, we should be caught up, and we should be having like the ideal for me is like 1 cast a day, like 1 cast a day sort of thing, and then I can sleep properly. Like I'm right now I'm sipping on some coffee. Right now I'm running off of like 3 hours of sleep because I gotta go to bed and then wake up for some more casting later on tonight for RSL. So yeah, it would be nice to get some proper sleep towards the end of April. We'll get there. We'll get there. But otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pappy. It's all good. It's all good. Also, more plushies, please. No. We'll get there. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good, Pappy. It's all good. We need proof of life of the plushies. Oh no. Oh no. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. And again, we're going to be wrapping up here for the morning. Again, we're going to be live later on tonight. It's going to be at around 6 hours. Yeah, in around 6 hours time, we're going to be live with the RSL. And of course, that'll be the case for the next 3 days. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. If you want to follow us, you can do so via socials. Un momento. You can do so via socials, !socials in the chats. You can follow us on YouTube. If you maybe see something that you like here, and if you can't watch it live, YouTube is the place to be. YouTube is the place to be, as we do upload on YouTube on a daily basis. Likewise, if you want to support us another way, you can do so via Patreon. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments. All that money goes directly towards our Tuna Cup, our Duckling Open, and our Swan Open as well. All of our tournaments are funded and grown via Patreon, so you can help us out there if you wish. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you so much for the support, and we'll see you guys tonight for some RSL. I'm gonna go get some breakfast. Gonna get some work done, then I'll pass out, get some sleep. See you soon. See you later tonight. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.